He struck out 2, allowed 1 run on 5 hits. Drew Smyly suffered the loss. Rookie Jean-Kinsey Noel hit a 430-foot homer in the 6th off Smyly that stood up as the game winner. The Yankees beat the White Sox 4-1. Juan Soto homered 3 times. Luis Robert Jr. spoiled New York's shutout bid with an 8th-inning RBI single. Sox have losses in 31 of their last 36. The Bears are hopeful that Montez Sweat will be ready to go by the time they battle the Titans in Week 1. The star defensive end has been out for about 2 weeks with an undisclosed injury.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive. At ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tell me when we're back on.
Kitchen ants, runaway roaches,
just be careful with
spider.
The visual.
A spider. A spider! Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo. People friendly. Bug.
As grocery prices rise, take your family out to any of the Tommy's Red Hots location for great food at unbelievably low prices. There's 6 locations to serve you for both dine-in or carry-out. Tommy's has a diverse, delicious menu for you and your family with crispy pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and their famous hot dogs, plus so much more. Don't forget their scrumptious sides like mac and cheese bites. To see their menu and locations, visit Tommy'sRedHots.com today.
WRMN says thank you to all of our local veterans, like Jerry Christofferson of True Patriots Care.
We had the 1,700 flags up across from the wall. That's how many POWs and MIAs from Vietnam are still missing. Plus, we do veterans and first responders funerals.
Yeah.
And so if you ever drive by a funeral home or a church or a cemetery and you see the flags, you know a soldier died today.
Go to TruePatriotsCare.com for more information. And veterans, thank you for your service to our country.
Welcome to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. Thanks for tuning in today. It's WRMN AM 1410 on Fox Valley Afternoons. I'm your host, Tammy Scully. I'm going to be with you for a couple hours today, and I've got a couple of co-hosts, some sidekicks waiting around for you. Now, you can watch us. Hopefully, you're listening to us on your AM radio somewhere, because we want to keep those AM radios going. But if you're not, and you want to watch us on, you've got a computer nearby, you want to watch us on YouTube, you can do that as well. YouTube, just go to @WRMN Radio, and you'll see us there on YouTube. You can actually see us there. And if you look on that, you'll see my little sidekicks hanging in there. I've got Nancy French. You might have met her earlier if you've been listening to us at all. Hello, Nancy. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I have a fun segment for us today.
Excellent.
Fun and important info. So
yeah.
Good morning, afternoon, everybody.
Morning. Where are you?
I said after. I corrected myself.
Yeah, and a girl. Louder. How about you? Now, the next co-host I'm going to introduce to you is going to be Miss Rebecca Herkert. She goes by Becky. And welcome to the program, Becky. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, Tam. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. That's it's another day in paradise, isn't it?
It really is. We can't complain.
Can't complain. It's a little wet and rainy in the Chicago area. If you're in the area, you'll agree with me. It's a little it's a bad hair day all the way around. That's all I can tell you about that. Beck, you want to give the audience a little bit of background about you? Rebecca is, she's pretty much a flower expert. She's done flowers for weddings, showers. She's got a fabulous garden, and she's going to bring us a little gardening segment later this afternoon. But you want to give them a little lowdown about yourself and what you've been up to?
Sure. Well, I've lived in the Chicago area all my life. I have 4 kids. Before I had kids, I worked in advertising. I was an account manager for 2 different ad agencies. Then I was able to stay home with my kids, but I did a lot of part-time jobs so I could accomplish that. From working with nonprofits, toy companies, skincare companies. And along the way, I got a lot of hobbies.
And the circus. You forgot the circus.
Oh, that was a special job, Tammy.
I know it.
It always makes me laugh. It is fun. Circus is all about.
That was the fun times with Patches the Clown. That's what I have to say about that.
Oh, I had Cowboy Bob.
I've only heard stories, but I wish I were there, or do I?
No, you could live through us on that one. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though, for sure. Glad I did it.
It was a lot of fun. So Becky's going to join us today, as well as Nancy. Mary's got the day off. Have a fun day off, Miss Mary. And we'll see Mary again tomorrow. She'll be joining us tomorrow, live in studio, actually. So let's look at our little agenda today and see what we've got going on. I need my eyeballs. Here we go. Talk time. We've got an interview coming up in another 5 minutes with Clancy Potts. She is with the Village of Barrington. She's going to talk to us a little bit about some of the special events they have going on in Barrington, as well as the event for tomorrow night. So we'll chat with her in just a few minutes. So what'd you guys do last night? Anything fun?
What did I do? Let me think. Gosh, did I?
I know, it was all the way last night.
I babysit my grandkids, so that's always fun. I mean, we're always doing something different. But by the time 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock rolls around, I'm wrapping it up.
You're done. You know what's nice about grandkids, Beck? You can hand them back.
Exactly.
Yes.
I hear you.
Right.
I hear you. Yeah.
Like it. How about you, Nance? Anything fun?
Well, I was supposed to have a big dinner for Sammy. You know Sammy, Tammy?
Yes, I know. I love Sammy. How is Sammy?
Yeah. Cousin Sammy and niece Sammy. Well, I wouldn't know because she actually wasn't able to come.
Oh, no.
I told, dinner set up and all the kids were going to come over. And
bummer.
But then had a flight mishap and several hours before she was supposed to come, she couldn't come. But was it family?
Nance, was it an airline thing or was it a Sammy thing that she couldn't get the flight?
It was an airline thing.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
And a Sammy thing.
Oh, a little bit of both.
You always plan great dinners, so I bet you had a good dinner planned for her.
I did, because she's now vegan, so
that
was a little challenging, but I went with the vegetable pasta, and I have to say, it was pretty good.
Outdid yourself on the vegetable pasta?
I did.
Excellent.
I did. And a great salad, by the way. So,
excellent. We went to bingo last night.
Bingo.
You heard me correctly. Bingo, like the dog's name. Oh my God, love it. We go to a fun one in the neighborhood by us, and the guy's a comedian, man. He's hysterical. He's the funnest bingo guy you got out there.
Where was it at, Tammy?
At Moretti's. They do their fun bingos on Wednesday, the one in Hoffman Estates. It's super fun. Yep, 7:30.
I think, when you have a comedian doing bingo, that would make it a whole different thing.
He's pretty funny.
Story.
But here's the deal.
Bingo.
He
has the same
He has the same jokes every week, though. So I could tell you his jokes, actually.
What age group is this? Is this lovely event
Lots of it. Taylor, who is 29 now, or 20, what is she, 29? Okay. And Mona was with us last night. My husband was there. Really? There were tables full of, we see people we know in there all the time. It's every age group because it's fun bingo. You are having a cocktail.
What do you win? Do you win money?
Yes, no. Okay, so it doesn't cost you any money to play, and you win food. Yes, you heard me, food from Moretti's. But here's the catch. You cannot use the food certificates that you win on bingo night. So you have to come back to Moretti's on another night.
Well, that's
and use
smart.
It. I know.
Fair.
They're not
that's smart. Fair deal.
There's no dummies over there at Moretti's.
Right,
free food is free food.
I hear you. Right. So when we win, we always give it to Taylor because, the broke daughter, she needs some food, right? So we give her we always give her our certificates. But then they have some other, they have like, they had the cash prize was $8,000 last night. And of course, nobody.
What? That's a lot.
Nobody ever wins it.
You don't. Oh.
Nobody ever wins it, ever. I'm telling you.
I thought you said they just supplied you with food coupons.
They do, but they also, so they have like 3 or 4 games where they have different prizes. Like one of them is a trip to Vegas for, nobody ever wins them. So they're just like, I don't believe that those are actually real prizes. I think the Moretti stuff, when you win those, so the way it works is you have to get bingo in like 9 calls or less to get the $8,000. Well, nobody gets it in 9 calls or less. Like they don't. Or he gives you.
Sounds like some bingo lingo, Tammy.
Yes, it is. It is.
Wow, that was clever.
It is. But it's loads of fun. All right, kids, we're going to move on to we've got our guest on the line who is anxiously waiting to chat with us. So let's bring her on board. From the Village of Barrington, we have Clancy Potts. Hey, Clancy.
Hi, Tammy. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome to the program. We're excited to talk to you about all the things you've got going on in Barrington. Why don't you tell the folks a little bit about yourself first, and then we can dive into what you got going on there.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I grew up in Barrington. I moved away for schooling, 18 to 24.
I hear you.
Came back.
Mm-hmm.
Came back and started working for the Village of Barrington. So trying to bring some of the things I learned out in the field back to my hometown. And I've been working with the Village for the last 6 years. What
is your position with the Village of Barrington? Tell the folks.
Absolutely. I'm the event and marketing manager.
Excellent.
Nice.
So we've got some events coming up. Clancy, you want to kind of talk about, well, probably the most immediate one is the one tomorrow night, right?
Absolutely. Yes. We have one of our drive-in concerts. We call them the Metrolot concerts, coming up tomorrow with a band called Smooth Sailin'. They are it's kind of like a super group of a bunch of great musicians. A lot of them play with the band Maggie Speaks, and they will be joining us and playing some smooth sailing yacht rock music between 7 and 9 p.m. in Barrington tomorrow.
So I found it fascinating that you've done these before, right? These drive-in ones where you drive your car into the lot.
Yes, we have. This is I just looked it up. This is our 17th one that we've done. It was kind of a brainchild out of COVID.
Yeah, I thought so.
I was just going to ask about that. That sounds like
That's
COVID beginning.
Yeah.
So
sounds like a great idea.
You have a car full for up to 6 people was what, $30, $35, something like that?
Yes, it's $35 per car full, up to 6 people, and then $5 for walk-in. If you just wanted to walk in and bring your picnic, some chairs, it's BYOB, bring your own food as well, and it's a fun time. It's a great way to get out, meet some people, listen to some tunes, and just enjoy Barrington. It's a really fun time.
And so tell me, go ahead, Nancy.
it sounds like he has some great musicians. The Maggie Speaks has a lot of accomplished musicians, don't they? In the group.
They sure do. This is one of their newer iterations, so we're really excited to have them join us. We've kind of gone through the gamut, a lot of different local bands. We just hosted Mike and Joe. Earlier this summer, we had Dancing Queen, the Absolute, as well as a Blues Brothers cover band. So we're really loving these outdoor concerts where people can just drive in, kind of, like a tailgate situation. It's always a good time.
And is it going on rain or shine, or is there a rain date, or how's that work?
So because it is an outdoor event, we kind of have to play it by ear. The weather is looking good tomorrow. If we do have to do any postponement, we generally would do that, just that afternoon. And then we'd let all the ticket holders know that we're going to be postponing and setting it for a later date. But currently, knock on wood, seems like we're in for a clear one tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like you've got great weather for tomorrow. 86 is a high during the day and then down to 67 at night with just a slight chance of rain. So hopefully you'll have great weather for that one and have a good attendance, because it sounds like a fun event.
Oh, thank you, Tammy. Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a good one. It really is.
Awesome. What else is happening in Barrington?
Well, absolutely. We've brought back our farmers market that happens every Thursday. We started on June 6th and going through October 7th. So we're keeping an eye on the radar for tonight, but currently we're going ahead.
It's Thursday. It's Thursday nights from, what'd you say, 4 to 7?
4 to 8, and 4 to 7 continuing August 22nd through October 10th, just to kind of coincide with little earlier sundown time.
Oh yeah, I know that always makes me sad when the sun starts setting so darn early.
I know. Fall is imminent.
I know. I'm a big fan of daylight, actually. So.
So am I.
And the farmers market. So that's awesome. You have a lot of vendors in there for that too.
Yes, we do. We just started working with Ben Sadoun USA. They are a farmers market specialists around the area. They do the French market at Ogilvie train station.
Oh.
And and a handful of other farmers markets around the place. So we're very excited to be working with them this year and for subsequent years.
That's awesome. Okay, great to know that. What else is happening in Barrington? There's a lot going on there.
Yes, we do have a lot happening over here. We are just about to drop our fall season of cultural events at our Cultural and Community Center, Barrington's White House. Those will be dropping on Monday, August 19th. People can find information about those upcoming events at barringtonswhitehouse.com. Large array of cultural events, musical events, theater events, family events, kids events, lots of things to choose from. So something for everyone.
And that comes out on Monday, you said?
Yes, that will come out on Monday, and our brochures will be in the mail at that point as well. But if anybody wants to get some more information about events happening in Barrington, they can go to Barrington's website, and if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can sign up for updates, and that will get you onto our email list, and you'll get information about all upcoming events and things happening around town.
That's a great way to stay on top of all of that. And then what about the fall? Do you do I don't know if you do these drive-in events in the fall, since you've got a car and you can turn on your heat if you want to jam in your car. I don't know. Do you do events in the fall? Probably like the Halloween events, that sort, harvest, pumpkins, blah, 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 that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we do we have a Scarecrow Festival, actually.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Annually, yes. So that's actually coming up on Saturday, October 5th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Memorial Park, which is right off of Huff Street. So that's a really nice one. That's a good family-oriented event. 3-hour span, so plenty of time to get over there and paint some pumpkins and get your face painted, all that good stuff. And
what else is happening there at the Scarecrow event? So you've got pumpkins and face painting. Is there? I don't know what else is happening there when you've got that event going on October 5th.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have horse rides there. We have a balloon artist. We have some local organizations that join us, some of our nonprofits that will bring kind of fall-inspired games and giveaways. Bob the DJ, our local DJ who comes to every event, is going to be there raffling off some prizes as well. So it's kind of a little bit for everyone, but definitely family-oriented. We'll have some food there as well. So that's a good one to kind of kick off October on Saturday the 5th from 11 to 2. And that same day is our Barrington Wine Walk that happens.
Now you're talking, young lady. Tell me about that one. Yeah, tell me about that one.
Yeah, so we have the event in the morning geared for the families, and then the event in the afternoon, 2 to 6 p.m. Barrington Area Chamber of Commerce helps us put that on, and they work with our local businesses to have stops around town where people can follow a map and go into different businesses and pick up their sample of wine in each stop. So
I love it. That's a great idea.
Nice.
So, and that's from 2 to 6 at night. So does it take you 4 hours, or like you start like stumbling towards the last few, right? No?
Yes. Well, it's a long time span. So if 2 o'clock doesn't work for you and you want to start at 3 or 4, then you still have plenty of time to hit all the stops. It's a nice one. You get to kind of soak in all that Barrington has to offer, feel, nice and fall. And then one of the stops is going to be Barrington's White House, and that is going to be the culmination of our Paint the Town Barrington Plein Air event, which is an outdoor painting competition, and the reception is on that night as well, where we will have paintings for sale as well as the wine tasting, because they're going to be one of the stops as well. So
cool.
It's kind of a three-fer that day. We've got a lot happening.
I like it. Now, is there a charge for either the Scarecrow event or the wine event?
So the Scarecrow event is a free community event. Mm-hmm. There is a charge for the wine walk, and I want to say it is $25 per person, mm-hmm. but I would recommend people visiting the barringtonchamber.com website for more exact details and tickets.
Gotcha. Okay, great. Now tell me about the painting thing you're talking about. That sounds interesting too.
Yes, so that's another fun one. That's going to be our 8th year doing this event. Paint the Town Barrington is it's an event that we have local artists sign up for. It's $25 per registration, and you get your canvases stamped at Village Hall, and you have a week to paint a scene or something within the village boundaries, and as long as you can paint something on the Saturday between 10 and 1, then you can submit your painting for judging, and there are cash prizes. So first prize wins $500, second prize $300, third prize $200, and then we have some best painting, artist choice, and a few other prizes like that available too. And then all the artists have their art for sale. It will be part of the wine walk, so people that are walking around can have a look at the art too, enjoy some of the scenes that the painters have painted around town. So it's a nice local event that people seem to love. So I'm so glad we're able to keep bringing it back each year.
It sounds awesome, and it gives artists an opportunity to get their work out there. And I love the idea of having scenes from Barrington. What's the most interesting one you've seen?
Oh, interesting. Well, I know one of my favorite ones is when people do the scene of the Catlow sign. If you guys are aware of the Catlow Theater.
Yeah. Love the Catlow. Love it. Yeah,
absolutely. It's so iconic in town. I love that. I love when they do paintings of Barrington's White House and some of the beautiful nature that we have around here as well. Baker's Lake, the Barrington Park District, Cuba Marsh. It's great to see that there's beauty all around us. It's just a matter of stopping and soaking it in. And then the painters certainly do that each year.
Cool.
I love it. Do they have, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Nance.
Yeah. What mediums are the artists using? Are they using acrylics or oils and watercolor? What mediums do they use? All different?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great question. All different kinds of mediums. So canvas is generally the starting point, and then any sort of medium that you want after that.
Okay, very fun.
That's a really interesting idea. Yeah, it's a great way to get the community involved in.
Yeah,
that's great.
That sounds awesome.
What do you do with the paintings then?
Sell them.
Oh yes. So there's a reception after the award ceremony that will go until 6:30, and then we also sometimes we have artists there that do commissions for other pieces of work or just specific things that people want. So it's a great way for artists to get out there and for people around town to enjoy the art. It's really fun.
Awesome. Well, our crack producer over here has put in some yacht rock for our exit on this. We got a little yacht rock. Do you want to give a number to get more information? So if people want to find out more, I know it's barringtonchamber.com.
Yes. So if people want to go to barrington-il.gov/events, that'll get you right to our event page. And if anyone wants to reach out to us, they can call Village Hall and find out anything they need to know.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Porton Public Library on both days. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a two-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The two-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Porton Public Library on both days. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Okay. Welcome back. You're listening to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends on Fox Valley Afternoons right here on WRMN AM 1410. Thanks for tuning in with us today. I'm your host, Tammy Scully. I'm going to be here until 4 o'clock today with you. And I've got a couple of sidekicks hanging around here. We've got Nancy French. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
And we've got Becky Herkert hanging around. We're doing some girl talk today. First thing I got to do is get into the weather a little bit. So let me give you a little bit of a forecast going on around the Elgin area. You guys probably have different forecasts where you're at. I know Nancy's got a much different ones. Nancy's broadcasting from Dallas. And Becky is in the Chicago area, but just not in the studio today. So let me tell you a little bit about our weather. We've got occasional light rain, a high of 74 degrees. And tonight we're going down to 67, variable cloudy with scattered thunderstorms. A few storms may be severe. I know they've been talking about Thursday storms for a week, so let's see what we get tonight. I don't mind a thunderstorm. I kind of like it, actually. Every now and then, you know. We've got Friday, going on Friday, the 16th, partly cloudy, a stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. And then Friday night, partly cloudy skies early, but will become overcast during the night. So low of 67 degrees on Friday night. Now for your weekend. Well, I guess Friday's part of your weekend, isn't it? Now for Saturday, everybody's got outdoor plans, don't you, for Saturday? I think you're good, but, you know, it's getting a little cooler out there, so our high is only going to be 78 on Saturday. Cloudy early with partial sunshine expected late. Slight chance of rain showers going on there, so you can get outside. And then Saturday night, the 17th, partly cloudy with a low of 64 degrees. Perfect night to get out and enjoy that music fix we've been talking about in Mount Prospect. On Sunday, we've got cloudy in the morning and then off and on rain showers during the afternoon. Oh, they changed this. High of 78 degrees. We had a clear forecast for Sunday, but it looks like we're going to get maybe a little rain. Hopefully not by us. It's a 57% chance of showers on Sunday. Sunday night is partly cloudy skies with a low of 58 degrees. You know what? It's starting to drop a little bit. You can tell that we're heading into fall not so long, although there's been some Augusts that have been just ridiculously hot. We're going to have the next week looks like 70s and low 80s for a high. Maybe way into next week, Wednesday, Thursday, it looks like you might be upper 80s. But, you know, it's too soon to tell. You never know. And they're wrong about that a lot, too, by the way. So take it with a grain of salt, what we're telling you your weather. But you can plan for a good weekend, it sounds like to me that we've got a good weekend coming up. All right, and our next segment is going to be, we partner with News Nation. News Nation is a news channel that is available on cable outlets as well as probably online, that sort of thing. And we've got some clips that we get to work with them on. They provide for us. So our friend Sonar is going to pick a clip for us, and we're going to talk about it after he plays the clip. Listen up. Let's see what we got coming our way.
At least one arrest has been made in connection with the death of actor Matthew Perry. News Nation's Nancy Liu reports it comes after an investigation following a medical examiner's report showing a large amount of ketamine in his system.
The amount in his body was said to be as high as what's used for general anesthesia. The evidence we're hearing is said to include text messages between Matthew Perry and those who delivered the deadly amount of ketamine.
Over 2 months, from September to October 2023, they distributed approximately 20 vials of ketamine to Mr. Perry in exchange for $55,000 in cash.
Estrada says the defendants took advantage of Mr. Perry's addiction issues to enrich themselves, and they knew what they were doing was wrong. Perry's assistant, whose prosecutors say injected the actor with the ketamine on the day he died, found Perry face down in his hot tub on October 28th last year. Paramedics who were called immediately declared him dead. His autopsy, released in December, found that the amount of ketamine in his blood was in the range used for general anesthesia during surgery.
Wow. I just have to say wow on that one. It kind of reminds me of the Michael Jackson thing. You know, he had so much in him then. And you know, I
Prince as well, I think.
Prince, yeah.
Prince, yeah.
I don't remember, I do remember the Prince thing. The Michael Jackson thing, I worked for AEG at the time, and he was our guy. And we employed him to go to the O2 Stadium in London to do a show, and that's what he was rehearsing for when he died. So he was our guy, man, and I was at his funeral. It was crazy. But nobody would tell Michael Jackson no. Like, they didn't tell him no. Anybody around him, it's like celebrities. They don't people don't like to tell him no. Yeah. But it sounds like they used Perry for a cash cow just because they could, and they knew he was vulnerable and took his money. Seems crazy to me.
It is crazy, but then it's like, you know, how old was he? Like 50? I mean, those people should be, and you know, the law should be enforced. If they're going after them, they should go after them. But I mean, my God, he's 50. If they 54. Won't supply him, 54, then he would have found someone else. I mean, that's the sad part.
That's
so hard.
That's
so
true,
hard.
Beck. That's how it works. If somebody tells them no, they'll go find somebody who will, because people love to be around celebrities, especially when they got a big wallet, you know, deep pockets.
Right.
That's
right.
Really.
It'll be interesting to watch and hear what goes on, if they'll actually go to jail or not.
So
we'll see, right?
What are they charging the assistant with? Is it like attempted murder or
I don't think they've charged the assistant yet.
Okay.
So they've said they've only made one arrest so far, but they are definitely investigating and making sure that something's there.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy.
Well, ketamine is also used to treat depression as well. So there could have been a prescription, and then the assistant had essentially administered that prescription. Whether or not it was more or less or however, there's enough of a gray area or that plausible deniability that maybe the assistant might be able to get away, but they're definitely going after the sellers.
That's it took them a minute to figure it out, but you knew that somebody was going to pay. You know, so you knew that this Matthew Perry's father, he's the guy on NBC who's got that. He does all the what do you call it? Like the murder Dateline, the Dateline guy, right?
Yeah.
What was I forgot his name?
John Bennett.
John what?
John Bennett Perry.
John Bennett Perry, was that his name?
I think that was his father. Right?
He's the maybe he's a stepfather, the gray-haired guy.
It's a stepfather.
Stepfather. He's got the real unique voice that they use for the a lot of those Datelines. You know, he does a great read on that stuff.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with him about it, like right after,
Keith Morrison.
Keith, that's the one, Keith Morrison. Right, kind of I don't know, a few weeks after it happened, and it's a little shocking. But it sounds like over like 2 months previous to this going on, he had to be kind of messed up a lot. You know, if they're giving him $55,000 worth of ketamine, I don't know what your ketamine goes for, but sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Oh my! Yeah. Well, it was enough to be under general anesthesia. I mean, gosh,
think about
the doctor,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's scary enough
Crazy.
as it is. You go under general anesthetics, and they have to breathe for you sometimes. Like, that's crazy.
They definitely don't put you in a pool.
Hot tub.
Don't
Maybe
swim.
a hot tub, but not a pool.
Don't swim 30 minutes after you take ketamine.
Right.
Right.
I think
Not
that
a
should
good
be a
idea.
new rule we teach the children, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's a bad one.
Yeah.
That's addiction.
It is.
Well, he just wrote his autobiography, and he talked about it's just so tough to be clean for that. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, right, and he was an addict for a while. He admits it. You know, clearly, he was still. Is ketamine addictive?
Most substances are like that, but I believe so because it's also one that Elon Musk claims that he uses as well for his depression. It is out there as well.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Ruh-roh.
Special K, I think, is what the kids call it.
Oh.
Yeah, they do. They do call it that.
Good to know. I don't know the kid drug language these days, but is it a widespread thing? Do a lot of people use it? Is it cheap and readily available, or you got to have a script and you got to know a doc?
I have no idea. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's definitely abused. I mean, it's definitely abused.
Right.
So,
right.
yeah.
Well,
used and abused.
I hope they get to the bottom of it because, it's not right, but somebody's going to pay. Somebody's going to pay for that one. All the other ones that are charged are dealers or doctors, let's say, or where they got it from. I heard there was like 5 people involved in this charges.
It seems like it's like there's text messages. I mean, how obvious? It's just like,
right.
This is,
seems like it.
Whatever.
Right?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know any of the details. So,
well, we just heard them. Wait, I'm just getting a notice about Big Lots. Big Lots is closing up. I'm like, ooh, Big Lots is closing. Oh, look, a squirrel.
All right. No more Big Lots, Tammy?
Yeah, well, around here, I think they're shutting their doors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know about down there, but they're a lot of them are closing up. That I don't have the deets. I just started looking at my watch that came over, and I'm like, ooh, Big Lots is gone. Anyway, all right. Well, we are going to take a quick break right now. Hear some words from our sponsors. We're going to come back in a few minutes with some historic music for you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
That's fun.
Fun. We are fun.
Yay.
Attention Fox River Valley. In response to
All clear.
listener input, WRMN AM 1410 is bringing back the live radio shopping show to your Saturday mornings. Join us from 8 a.m. to noon every Saturday starting June 29th for incredible deals and unbeatable savings. And that's not all. Our Redemption Center will now be open only on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So mark your calendars and get ready for Saturday morning shopping sprees with WRMN AM 1410, your station for great savings and local fun.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast to Coast right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Blast Off. As Circus World boldly goes where no circus has gone before. Feel the big bang as Tina the Human Cannonball flies high.
Defy gravity with an upside-down rocketeer. Perky poodles, soaring aerial acts. Plus, camels, llamas, horses, and ponies orbiting the ring.
Jugglers, zany comedy, and space cadet music invite you to Blast Off! To family fun at Circus World.
What makes a great pizza restaurant? The obvious answer, great pizza. A local favorite since 1983, Pizza Pub Wisconsin Dells has been serving up the best pizza in the Dells. Year after year after year. Not hungry for pizza? Try the homemade lasagna, chicken parmesan, burgers, salads, and an extensive kids menu. Or take a trip or two to the all-you-care-to-eat lunch buffet. Pizza Pub, walking distance to water parks and hotels in Wisconsin Dells.
And welcome back. You're listening to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. We've got Nancy and Becky joining us today. And our next segment is about this day in history on the music front. Guess what today was in 1969? It's August 15th. Girls, do you know what today was? Woodstock. It was Woodstock. Yay.
Oh, hey.
Do you know anybody who was at Woodstock?
I do.
Who?
I do. Well, it was an old friend, and his name was Rob, and he ended up going out west after Woodstock. He ended up living with Jefferson Starship, but they kicked him out. They tried to be good hippies, and then he was drying his socks on their radiator and started their house on fire.
Oh.
Gave him the boot.
Wow.
Bad hippie. Bad hippie, yeah.
But it was a bad, he was being a bad hippie.
Bad hippie.
No.
Not good.
There was the ketamine involved.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they had ketamine back then.
There's probably something involved.
Oh, yeah. Back then, yeah.
I had a feeling.
Everything, it was like, anything goes back in 69, I think. That was all okay.
Yeah.
My old boss went, but the guy I used to work for at AEG, and he's got some good stories about it too. Fun, fun times out there. Let's talk a little bit about the music that they played at Woodstock. We've got, the infamous, we've got Jimi Hendrix, Foxy Lady, coming at you right now. Here's a little bit of that for you now.
Foxy lady. Oh! Foxy lady. Foxy lady. Here I come, baby. I'm coming to get you.
We can come back. There's a little taste of Woodstock for you. You feel like you're back at it, girls? You're in Woodstock right now?
Oh yeah, with Jimi Hendrix and yeah.
Yeah.
Who else? The Who played there. Who are the other big names?
Well, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. We're going to hear from them in a minute. Santana, The Who, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin, the band.
Janis, that's who I was thinking of.
Janis, the band, Canned Heat, Joan Baez, Melanie. You remember Melanie? Didn't she buy a brand new pair of roller skates at one point? Yeah.
Yeah, she needed a key.
Yeah, she did. 10 years after, Sly and the Family Stone, Johnny Winter, Jefferson Airplane, Ravi Shankar, Country Joe and the Fish, Blood, Sweat and Tears, Arlo Guthrie, and Joe Cocker. During the 3 days, there were 3 deaths, 2 births, and 4 miscarriages.
Wow.
It could have been a lot worse.
Right? Well, it's a pretty big one. The festival was held on Max Yasgur's 600-acre farm in Bethel, outside New York. Attended by over 400,000 people, the event featured all those artists we just talked about, including, who did I have next? Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, a song called Marrakesh Express. You're going to hear that now.
I love that one. That's a good one.
So do I.
Through the sunset in your eyes, traveling the train through clear Moroccan skies. Ducks and pigs and chickens call, animal carpet wall to wall. American ladies 5 foot tall and blue, sweeping cobwebs from the edges of my mind. Had to get away to see what we could find. Hope the days that lie ahead bring us back to where they've led. Listen not to what's been said to you. Would you know we're riding on the Marrakesh Express? Would you know we're riding on the Marrakesh Express? They're taking me to Marrakesh, all on board the train, all on board the train. I've been saving all my money just to take you there. I smell the garden in your hair. Take the train from Casablanca going south. Blowing smoke rings from the corners of my mouth. Blowing puffins hang in the air. Charming cobras in the square. Stripes your leathers we can wear at home. Well, let me hear you now. Would you know we're riding on the Marrakesh Express?
You guys remember that one?
Yes.
Yep.
That was a great one.
That was a good one. That was a Woodstock one. Now, also, that Woodstock was in '69. Also in '69, Led Zeppelin made the headlines. During a North American tour, Led Zeppelin appeared at the Hemisphere Arena in San Antonio. Jethro Tull and Sweet Smoke were also on the bill. During the show, Zeppelin received abuse from locals due to the length of their hair.
Funny.
I think that's funny.
Those are the good old days.
And now in 1966, the Beatles, during a U.S. tour, the Beatles appeared at the D.C. Stadium in Washington, D.C. to over 32,000 fans. Tickets cost $3 each. 5 members of the Ku Klux Klan, led by the Imperial Wizard of Maryland, picketed the concert. And in 1965, on this date, the Beatles set a new world record for the largest attendance at a pop concert when they played in front of 56,600 fans at the Shea Stadium in New York. The Beatles were paid $160,000 for the show. The set list included Twist and Shout, She's a Woman, I Feel Fine, Dizzy Miss Izzy, Ticket to Ride, Can't Buy Me Love, Babies in Black, I Want to Be Your Man, that's the one we're listening to now in the background, and A Hard Day's Night, and Help as well, and I'm Down. 2 of the Rolling Stones were among the audience, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, and later that evening, Bob Dylan visited the Beatles at their hotel. So that was 1965 on this date. A lot going on this date way back when.
Yeah, there really was.
All right, we're going to take another break here. We're approaching the top of the hour. We're going to go cut for news and some words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
I want to be your man. I want to be your man. I want to be your man.
19, but that's not all. Parts, service, and body shop, they all cost less at McGrath Nissan. Used cars, too. The reason why is how hard we try. Right now, get 0% APR financing on select new Nissan models at McGrath Nissan because
Nissans cost less on Route 19.
Come to Elgin.
See what we mean.
The word is out. Nissans cost less on Route 19, but that's not all. Parts, service, and body shop, they all cost less at McGrath Nissan. Used cars, too. The reason why is how hard we try. Right now, get 0% APR financing on select new Nissan models at McGrath Nissan because
Nissans cost less on Route 19.
Come to Elgin.
See what we mean.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 3 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a 2-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The 2-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Borden Public Library on both days. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Visit the Milwaukee County Zoo this summer to enjoy so many species of fun. Home to more than 2,200 animals, representing over 340 different species. The zoo educates, entertains, and inspires. Stomp back in time with the zoo's summer exhibit, Dinosaur Discovery, sponsored by Sendix Food Market. You'll be astounded by the gigantic and scientifically accurate animatronic displays. Touch, feel, and learn about the role of predators in the ecosystem. Running through October 5th. Visit MilwaukeeZoo.org.
The weather is getting better, and we know it's the time when ladders and DIYers come out. Before you start any new outdoor projects, ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any type of work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears are hopeful that Montez Sweat will be ready to go by the time they battle the Titans in Week 1. The star defensive end has been out for about 2 weeks with an undisclosed injury.
Swung in and ripped to deep left, away back, way out of here.
Guardians Radio 2-1 the win over the Cubs. Javier Assad went 4 2/3. He struck out 2, allowed 1 run on 5 hits. Drew Smiley suffered the loss. Rookie Jean-Kenzie Noel hit a 430-foot homer in the 6th off Smiley that stood up as the game winner. The Yankees beat the White Sox 4-1. Juan Soto homered 3 times. Luis Robert Jr. spoiled New York's shutout bid with an 8th inning RBI single. The Sox have losses in 31 of their last 36.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider! A spider! Relax, just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo.
Hey there, this is Marky B from The First Shift, inviting you to join Brian Anderson for his new radio show, Kane County Speaks, every Thursday from 9 until 10 a.m. during the final hour of my morning show. It's an election year, and Brian will discuss important local issues and interview local candidates from the perspective of Kane County Speaks. The show will feature open phone lines for your thoughts, comments, and questions, and the chat room will be open at WRMN Radio on YouTube. Kane County Speaks is citizen-driven and focused on making Kane County a better place to live and work with goals of freedom, security, and prosperity for all. To learn more about their grassroots organization, you can check them out at KaneCountySpeaks.com. Let's discuss the issues of Kane County so that you can get involved and make a difference too. It's Kane County Speaks every Thursday morning with Brian Anderson from 9 until 10 a.m. during The First Shift right here on WRMN, AM 1410, and at WRMN Radio on YouTube.
Welcome back. You're listening to a little girl talk right here. It's Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. I'm your host, Tammy Scully. I'll be here with you until 4 o'clock. We've got Nancy French and Becky Herkert hanging on with us as well today. Welcome back, everyone. We've got a couple of comments we want to talk about. I guess the text line. Let me tell you about the text line. Image 360 has sponsored a text line for the station. So at any time, if you'd like to text anybody here or just a general comment, here's your number, 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. You can text us anytime you want about anything you want. As well as we're on YouTube. If you're listening in the radio, we appreciate that. If you're in front of your computer, I'm like, what is this thing called? Your computer, you can go to YouTube and just go to WRMN Radio, and there, voila, you'll see our lovely little faces. And you can also comment on there. On the right side is a chat. You can chat away with us. Ring the bell, right? We want them to ring the bell and subscribe, and then you'll be our friend forever. Or as long as you want to be. So we got some comments. Sonar's going to share them with us now that we've got on the YouTube.
That's right, youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. We've got somebody coming in and says, is Becky organizing her closet during the show? And it,
well, I'm multitasking.
That's exactly what the next comment says. Looks like multitasking.
That's what women do. We do it well.
Someone else comes in, whatever it takes. Here we go.
I didn't know. I was going to be on camera. Sorry, guys.
Hey, WRMN listeners, I'm Brendan. Brendan comes in with that. He also says, lovely work, ladies, along with Joe says a great job. And Brendan comes back with, hey, I'm Brendan, and I'm listening.
Thank you, Brendan, for listening. We appreciate you. And Joe and everybody else who's interested in Becky's closet. Excellent. We appreciate you listening in there. Yeah, I know it's a little weird that we're on video, but it's radio, but it's video, but it's radio.
I didn't know. Yeah, that's all right.
Well, now you know.
You got to peek in my closet.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
there you go.
You might get some suggestions. If anybody has suggestions for Becky's closet, chime in.
Yeah, I could use a few. Big closet.
We get your closet all set up today, Beck.
Closets by WRMN.
Sure.
Well, I guess podcasters use their closet all the time.
I've used my closet many a time, but I wasn't on YouTube, so we got that going on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
No, the clothes muffle the clothes muffle the sound. It's awesome. I mean, no better place to do. No better place to do it. So we've got now coming up next. We've got a lot of people are falling for scams. We hate it, and there's so many of them out there. It's not even funny. So Nancy decided she wanted to check into that a little bit, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about her what she found out about scams.
Yeah, I found out quite a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many different types of scams. There are home scams at your own home, internet scams, romance scams, phone scams. It's a $3 billion industry currently. And they're all, I know it. And when you think of scams, right, you think of older people getting scammed, but actually now they're targeting college students.
Really?
So
do tell.
Yes. So yeah. So a lot of loan scams. Because students, they're naive, right, about all this stuff. And even though they may be tech savvy, they're naive about keeping their information private. Social media is a culprit. With the social media boom is when, of course, they're now targeting the college students and a much wider audience with that. But it's terrible. So I have a couple scams for you. One is if you're at home, there is a new scam out there that has, so a guy knocks on your door, like a city guy. He says he's a city guy. He's going to inspect your yard or your trees or something. And then while they distract you and get you out of the house, he has buddies and pals that rob your house. This actually happened to a friend of mine's dad in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area.
What happened?
So, when you answer that, don't answer it if you don't know who it is my suggestion.
Well, that's hard to do though, because there's a dude standing at the door and they see you. So, we have a little thing on the door that says no solicitors. Nobody ever looks at that. They just come.
No, they don't.
No, they just come to the door. So some guy at the front door gets you out and a guy goes in the back door?
The back way or the vice versa?
No, they actually go in the front door because they get you out of your house.
Oh.
And you're looking at trees and such in the yard or something. They say it's a city inspection or whatever. And then the pals literally can just go in the front door or the back door.
Well, they
robbed him and and he got into a little bit of an altercation. He's fine.
Oh, wow.
But what I'm going to tell you is what I'm going to say is that don't go out of your house. If someone says, well, come out here and look at, you're not expecting that person. You don't know that person.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why you should be going out of your house.
Definitely.
Right.
It's just, it's pervasive. Another thing too, is we actually got scammed. Somebody started work. A guy was painting, right? Going around the neighborhood and painting. Okay, come and paint our door. Well, then we said, oh, we have other work. Oh, we can do it. We can do it. Well, number one, no, don't give cash up front. Don't give cash up front. Work has to be done first. Check into your people that are doing work around your house. That's another whole scam. So what they did to us is they started the work and they said, well, we don't have enough money to finish the project. We need you to front us the money to finish the project, which we foolishly did. And never came back.
Oh, that happens a lot, Nancy. That's a big one out there. And then, so now what I see a lot on like neighborhood Facebook pages is they'll put their name out there and go, do not deal with this guy because he stole our money. They
right.
So
we did that.
There's a way to communicate, that there's a bad egg out there trying to get away with it.
Correct.
You know what would happen?
And that is
if they came to our house and they knocked on the door and they tried to get me out and then they tried to go in, they'd be greeted by like 3 mutts that would want like treats and stuff, you know?
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good. They're not evil mutts though, so they probably just throw them a piece of meat, a steak or something.
I don't know.
Have at it.
Titan's autistic, I think.
Would do it, yeah.
I think Titan might give a little growl here and there and maybe take a chunk out of somebody. He looks mean and he's got a mean bark, so how do they know?
Well, he might be scary. Well, and then here's another one that I really, really wanted to mention this one because this is a really big one that's happening, and it's happening to young people. It's happening to all age people. It's happening to young people as well as people in not a nursing home, but an aged home. Like my mother-in-law's in
a retirement facility,
or a retirement independent living.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening in there as well as 40-year-olds and 30-year-olds and 20-year-olds. So they're romance scams, right? And so you think you're savvy about that, but so are they. So what's happening is they string you along, and it's not for a month. It's not for 2 weeks, a month. It can be as long as a year before they will ask you for money or they'll come up with a problem. So it's generally done by people who are in other countries. And in fact, what the new information that I found out, and this is awful, you guys, but that in countries like Cambodia and Bangkok, they are called cyber slaves. So we think that people that are committing these crimes, that are sucking people into romance online, we think they're bad people, right? We think they have a motive and some of them do, but there are hundreds of thousands of people that are literally human trafficked to cyberstock. So just know that too.
Well, how do they communicate with the folks in the retirement facilities? Is it online? Is it a phone call?
It's online. It's online. And so, red flags are if they don't talk to you on the telephone, on your phone. They can't. They're out of range. I tried to call you, but something's wrong with your phone, right? They try to make you think that, well, it's your fault or it's their fault. I actually had a friend who was really in deep in this relationship, and the woman had pictures and everything of her, but they were not real, right? AI generated pictures. And then every time she tried to talk to her, it would be there was a connection problem, and this and that. And again, strung her along for a year before she then started to small increments of money. People have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars to smart people that are smart, people that they think they're savvy, but so are these people. So my top 10, one of them is, if you can't meet the person and talk to the person and see the person on video interacting with you or on your phone, it's a problem. It's a problem. Do not ever send money online in a romantic situation, no matter what you are told.
I think those are more common than you know, and it's not just retirement facilities. I just was talking to a guy last week who told me he had somebody, one of his relatives that was living with him fell into one of these, and she gave all her money to some dude. She's like crazy.
It's true.
That she's never
young people. This gal was 40 years old that I'm talking about. Wow. She's only 40.
How come
it's not,
Nancy,
but the older folks too.
How come you have so many friends that are scammed? What's going on with you?
I know, right? Well, but it's pretty common. Well, my mother-in-law told me about the gals in the home.
Yeah.
So she told me, but then I have the one gal, but it is though, because people are lonesome and they want to date and they want to find somebody. And I get that. And I understand that. And that's what they're preyed upon about. And the more that's allowed to happen, the more the more money that's involved. I believe Cambodia is something like an $8 billion industry.
That's crazy.
From the scams.
Are we in the wrong business?
And it's yeah, right. I know. So here's let me give you a quick top whatever, 10 or 8. Never send money with a Visa card to anyone. You don't never wire transfer, never do that. And actually, my sister, who is very bright, she was actually scammed, which thought she was calling Spectrum. Now, this is a crazy story. Thought she was calling Spectrum. She called the number that she had called before.
Wait, what Spectrum? What Spectrum?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's an internet company.
Oh, okay.
It's an internet company.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's your internet. And so she called this number. Well, the guys, or whoever, I don't know how they got that. They transferred the number over. But what they told her is, yeah, you can get a really good deal. We're partnering with Target. So you buy a Target gift card and then you send it to us. Mm-hmm. And then, once you do that, and she was so embarrassed. She's like, how could I have fallen for
that?
But it does happen. So what I'm going to say is you never need to get a Visa gift card, any kind of card to pay a company. It doesn't, and people call and they have AI generated voices to pretend they're your cousin, right? Or your child if they're out of the country. They can sound like them. But here's a tip, any kind of sense of urgency with the person that's talking to you on the phone or texting you, look, we have to get so-and-so out of jail. So-and-so is hurt in the hospital. Use your skills and call the hospital. Call your cousin. Call your aunt.
Call the relative. That happened to my mom. I don't know if you guys remember that. Yeah. I had somebody called my mom and said, hey, Grandma. And she's like, she's like, hello. And he said, and she's like, who is this? And she's like, it's your grandson. And she's like, oh, Kevin. Well, there it is. Right. That's how they get the name. And then, I'm in trouble. Right. Don't tell my mom. Send me money. That kind of thing. My mom called me right away and it's like, where is Kevin? I'm like, why? We got to, she never could, but she was ready to get in the car and go to the bank and get him some money.
And people every day do. And it's so pervasive.
You're supposed to have a rescue word, like a word that only you and your family know. Like you discuss it away from your phones, away from everything, and everyone knows that word, whatever it might be or what I would do. And then that's
have one of those. Do you guys have one? Do you have
my kid? I don't know if they all remember. I'm gonna have to.
Well, I think my kids remember. It was when they were little. We always worked with the same word, and we kind of use it all the time now for I need to get out of here, and here's my code word. Get me out of here.
It's code word exactly.
Right.
No, that's right, Becky. That's very important to have that for your family. I need to remember that actually, and just because we had one before, and it's been so long. Right. It's really important to have a secret password that you
But
know
away from phones, away from the phones, away from Siri, away from
Yeah, well, here's another one I heard about is
might be a little drastic. But.
Sometimes when they
Yeah,
call, sometimes when people call you and they say, and you pick up and you say hello, they record you saying hello, or they'll say, "Who is this?" and you say your name, and then they take the recording of you saying your name and use it on your accounts or against you somehow. I don't know how you avoid that because you always answer the phone, hello. I don't know.
They're really telling you not to even answer the phones anymore. Isn't that the case?
If I don't recognize the number,
right.
I
you
don't
know the number?
Yeah. And in this day and age, you can text me and I can see where you're coming from. Or if you want to call me, I don't answer though if I don't know who it is. I don't know, because we get that option these days.
We do, because mine says spam risk. I don't know.
I get that too. Yeah.
Intercepting it. So you're right, Becky and Tammy. I don't answer if I don't know who it is. I didn't think about that, Tammy. They can they can just pick up your voice and maybe that's all the info they need, right? So that is important. But also avoid, and this is kind of a basic one, but just don't click on links that you don't know about in your email or on your phone.
Well, that is a big one. Is that how your sister got with Spectrum? She clicked on a link?
She actually didn't. She actually called a number to see, because it was getting so expensive.
Where'd she get the number?
She had the number. She had the number from before. I don't know how the scammers intercepted that number, but it's really crazy because in her defense, who would think that, right?
Right. You think you're calling right. You got to suspect everything these days, really. There's so many bad eggs out there that do this kind of stuff. You got to suspect everybody's after, I know I don't want to make you paranoid or anything, but
I know, but keep your keep your personal information, close. Don't share a lot of that on the phone and anything, especially if people are wanting your Social Security. Of course, you would never, hopefully, give anybody your Social Security
number.
Never
give out your social.
Your date of birth.
Yeah.
And can be, they can find information that way. So, and be careful what you share on social media. That's everyone's on there.
Yeah.
So, and I can't believe how much personal information you can really glean from social media.
That's a big one. Like if you're saying you're away and you put it while you're away, people know you're out of town. Now they don't know if somebody else is in your house or whatever, but they can look and see where you're at, if you're a big social media person. So you definitely have to watch that. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you been scammed, Becky?
Have I been scammed? Let me think. Well, one person I know, there's exact same thing that Nancy talked with her sister. It happened to them. So they had to as soon as he did it, he knew he shouldn't have done that, but he had to send a gift card. Then he was going to get this great offer off of, I don't know if it was AT&T or Verizon. And it was just like,
the gift card is the giveaway. Like if they wanted to give but
when it happened a year and a half ago, it was just like a new thing, and it's their verbiage, their words, and it could be like for elderly people. I mean, those are the ones I think that are just the most at risk.
Right. And go ahead, Nancy.
One guy in Virginia lost $750,000, and he's an attorney.
And he's an attorney.
Savings. So,
wow.
And he didn't have to send a gift card, did he?
That's a big old gift card. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. People impersonated government personnel, and he bought it, and he thought he was helping the government. But alas, note to self: you don't give anybody any money. You don't give anybody any personal information. So.
And that is non-recoverable money. I mean, how do you get...
That's right, Tammy.
There's not insurance for scammers or anything like that, Can you imagine the rate on that premium if there was,
Right.
So a lot of scamming going on out there. You got to watch what you're doing when it comes to people coming to your door. I hate people coming to my door. You know what? Don't come to my door. It's a big thing in real estate to do door knocking, they call it. And you go out door to door and you try and canvass a neighborhood so that your real estate sign is all over this neighborhood. You want to be the expert in that neighborhood.
Right.
I think that was good.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I don't know. But right now, I don't want anybody knocking on my door. My husband, oh my God, he's the worst. He's the worst. He let this guy in, and he was selling solar panels. And he was thinking about it. And I'm like, have you lost your mind? There is no way I'm buying solar panels from a dude walking door to door. Like, not happening on that one. But I don't let them in the house. I don't answer the door. The dogs are a good deterrent for that sort of thing because they hear the barking and they're like, okay, we don't want to play with her. Or I heard put like if you're single and you don't have critters or whatever, that they said put like big like construction shoes outside your door or dog bones or something that they think that there's like something big inside.
That's a good idea. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that you'll.
That's a good
that's a good one. That is a good idea.
That they'll leave you alone that way, you know. I don't know. Well, all right, Nance. Now you got any more for us? Any more scamming going on?
Well, just that you have to be really, really, really careful.
Diligent, yeah. Sonar had a couple of, he was talking about the tollways, the new scam in Illinois.
Yeah, the scam in Illinois right now is you'll get a text supposedly from the tollway where it says you owe about $50-some, and they say pay now, and you'll only have to pay like $17. So they hit that link. Never click links you don't recognize.
Mm-hmm. Hard to say. And then there was another one you were talking about. What was that other one?
The other one was that the Better Business Bureau recommends to always use a second line of communication with whoever is contacting you, whether it's a website or an email or something along those lines.
That's good advice. That's good advice.
That's a good one.
Right. That is really.
Yeah. So be diligent. Thanks for bringing that to us, Nance. I know it's,
Good job, Nancy. Thank you.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little scary there, but be diligent and kind of use your noggin on that one. All right, we're going to cut out here. We're going to do a little break. It is bottom of the hour news and some words. We'll be right back after this. Stick around.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a two-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The two-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Porton Public Library on both days. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Yankees beat the White Sox 4-1. Juan Soto homered 3 times. Luis Robert Jr. spoiled New York's shutout bid with an 8th-inning RBI single. The Sox have losses in 31 of their last 36.
Swung in and ripped to deep left. Away back, way out of here.
Guardians Radio 2-1 the win over the Cubs. Javier Assad went 4 2/3. He struck out 2, allowed 1 run on 5 hits. Drew Smyly suffered the loss. Rookie Jean-Kenzie Noel hit a 430-foot homer in the 6th off Smyly that stood up as the game winner. The Bears are hopeful that Montez Sweat will be ready to go by the time they battle the Titans in Week 1. The star defensive end has been out for about 2 weeks with an undisclosed injury.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider. A spider! Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo. People friendly, bug deadly.
For a little lighthearted lawlessness on Sunday afternoons, listen to Handle on the Law from 4 to 7 p.m. Handle on the Law is a unique combination of useful legal advice and outrageous Handle remarks. Whether you're talking about Big Brother, big business, big legal problems, or Big Macs, you'll rarely find Bill without an opinion. His rapid-fire commentary gives listeners the information they crave in the way they crave it. It's Handle on the Law, Sunday afternoons from 4 to 7 p.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. Welcome back. You're listening to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends, a little girl talk amongst us. We've got Nancy French and Becky Herkert with us today, having a little chit-chat about a few things. I want to talk to Sonar about what we've got coming up today on his program from 4 to 6, a political
talk show. Absolutely. A political talk show. Today we have a Illinois math teacher coming in to talk about digital amnesia. You know how you have a calculator and the calculator helps you forget how to do math problems? Mm-hmm. Well, it helps you solve math problems, but you don't need to use your brain for it. There's now the Google effect where we don't have to retain facts so much anymore because I can just look those facts up. So we'll talk all the way about the theory about how it was first proposed in 1985, way before Google was even around. And we'll talk a little bit about how our minds are shaped based off of this transactive memory theory.
That's a real thing. I mean, nobody, I don't remember phone numbers. I don't remember, addresses anymore. I don't even know how to get to places sometimes because you put it in nav and I don't pay attention where I'm going.
The way that they put it is like shared memories. So like maybe you are the one who remembers all the birthdays, and then your husband remembers where the car keys are, or you know what I mean? It's that shared memory aspect of everything.
So two brains equal one.
Exactly. Yeah, but now since we're all connected with Google, now we all have just one brain, I guess.
Right. I mean, it is, and our kids going to grow up different because that's what they're used to. So they have to have different skill sets. Like when we were kids, you went outside, you came in when the street lights came on, you played out, and you had different social skills. You had the survival of the fittest out in the streets when you were a kid. You know, I think we're a few generations are going to be missing some of those skills and acquiring other like digital skills, you know, things like that. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. I read a book called The Shallows. It's a Pulitzer Prize winner, actually, about you know, the digital world and how that does change our brains, and how when they're reading a small snippet and you have a hyperlink, how your brain just then goes to the hyperlink. You forget the information you just read because you're now, you know, it's like a pretty bird syndrome. So what it does is it kind of creates an ADHD in everyone's brains, you know, or many people. So that's, you know, that sustained attention without all that drama, you know, reading text for any length of time. So yeah, it's really that.
Stay tuned for more on that with Sonar today. Is Ben in with you today?
No, Al Iverson is going to be in with us. Not the sports athlete. I
was like, wait, how'd you score that one?
Right? No, the father of the director of For Profit.
Oh, right. Yeah. Great. Awesome. Well, that'll be a good one to listen to. So tune in with Sonar and Company from 4 to 6 today. We're going to do a news clip now, another news clip from News Nation. News Nation provides some clips for us about current events and things going on. They are a nationwide news service that is cable-driven, I would say. And we've got a clip here. Sonar will pick a clip, and then the girls and I are going to talk about what we think about that clip. Go for it, Sonar.
Six Flags Entertainment Corporation is rolling out some big changes Thursday at its amusement parks across the country. A new record-breaking roller coaster will debut at the company's park in suburban Chicago next year. It's called the Wrath of Rakshasa, and it will have the steepest drop of any dive coaster in the world. Six Flags president John Kragnack, explained the experience to News Nation Marcus Leeshock.
What happens on a dive coaster that doesn't happen on any other coaster is when right before you do that initial drop, you're going to go right over that edge and they're going to hang you.
Yeah, you pause for about 2 or 3, 4 seconds, something
and you
like
get
that.
to stare.
Feels like about an hour.
And you get to think about your life.
The new coaster will drop 171 feet and reach speeds of up to 67 miles an hour.
Well, I'm going to have to pass on that coaster, my friend. Grandma Tammy gets a little sick on those things. I am so motion sick. I can't do a roller coaster. You know the ones that they have at the fair that have the big like alligator head and it's like for like toddlers? I can do that one. That's the one I'm on. Other than that, forget it. You girls are roller coaster girls, no?
No. I mean, I think I used to be, but, you know, something must happen where I can't imagine doing that kind of drop and surviving. I just couldn't survive.
It's a thing. Well, you would survive. I guarantee it. But the drop coasters are a thing, I think. Like people, my son has a friend who knows every roller coaster in the United States and has been to most of it. He travels from roller coaster to crazy. Well, that was before he had 3 kids. Now I'm thinking he's not traveling so much to roller coasters. But this drop, I bet he'll be at this drop one too. When does it come out? 2025?
Let's see here. I think it's out now. They have some big changes. Wow. Yeah, they're rolling out some big changes. The roller coaster comes out. So yeah, I believe sometime in the next year.
Yeah, I think they're under construction. They're taking a water ride and demolishing it and turning it into this drop coaster thing. And I guess that's a thing where you have like a straight drop down. Or do you remember those things? I don't know. I think it was at Disney World or Epcot Center where they have like a tower and you go to the top of the tower and then drop you down.
MGM? Tower of Terror.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do that.
You could or you did?
I could do that one.
All
That's
right.
not as bad. That's like for kids. I think, like, or my age. Yeah.
They're calling it the Terror of Rakshasa, which is a Dungeons and Dragons monster.
Oh.
Okay. That's clever.
Well, that would make sense why I don't know what that is. I don't know. Monsters and roller coasters, they're kind of all in the same bailiwick for me,
It's a spell-casting humanoid with the face of a tiger.
Oh. Well, that's good to know.
Two left hands, I believe, as well.
A humanoid.
That makes you go, right, Dan?
Well, it's one of them that makes me go, who. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be on this roller coaster anytime soon, but I don't know. Maybe, Becky, are you heading up there? You're doing a little Six Flags action?
What do they do in October? They do the, what's it called for Halloween?
Oh, yeah. The Six Flags does that Fright Night or something like that, do they?
Oh, yeah.
I've done that.
Right.
That's actually really fun. That is a fun thing for everyone. All ages.
Yeah,
Taylor. That.
Taylor likes that one too. Is it? And everybody's dressed up and stuff.
Don't touch you. I'm good. I can do it.
Awesome. And you've got a Six Flags by you, Nance, down there.
We do. I have not been here to Texas. I've only been to the one in St. Louis. So I haven't been to this Texas one, but I like the haunted houses. As long as they, it doesn't get dark. I don't like pitch black, but.
I don't like the. Now listen, the haunted houses where they jump out and they touch you and stuff. Hey, Brian's got a great haunted house at the Herkert residence.
That's true. Yeah, that was family and all.
I know, that was wonderful.
They can handle it.
He went crazy. He did the garage and he made this little haunted house
fun.
and like all these. Yeah, he liked to do that. Is he still doing that?
I would.
My daughter's thinking of bringing it back because she has a big garage. So we'll see if that happens.
Oh, I like it. Let me know. I'll buy a ticket to that one. Yeah, I'll go to that.
All right.
Yeah.
You'll hear about it.
I'll come up for it. I'll come up for it, Beck.
Do you know they do these haunted houses year round? Like they're not just Halloween. There's a Christmas themed one and there's a 4th of July themed one and whatever. There's like different haunted house. I guess they're trying to make money all year on a haunted house.
Where do they do that?
Yeah.
What's that, Nance?
Where do they do that?
Well, so Taylor has been to a few of them, and down in Cedar Point, I think, in Ohio. Cedar Point's got a bunch of, in Ohio, they've got a bunch of amusement parks and things like that. And I think she's been to a couple down there, and then all over the place they do wacky themed ones.
Well, some hotels also are year-round as well. So the H.H. Holmes Murder Castle in Chicago was one of them. That's year-round as well.
That's a great book. That is a great book. Devil in the White City. Did you guys read it?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, I started reading it, and then the pages started falling out. So I never got around to finishing it.
That happened to me, too.
The binding, the pages fell out?
Yes.
Whoa. What? How about them apples? I thought I was the only one with bad binding. Apparently,
remember that.
It was a run of them. Yeah. I don't know. I lost a bunch of pages. I'm like, all right, I can't finish this book. But apparently there's a movie, so I can pick up the movie and go from there.
His own haunted house, so that's crazy.
I think we ought to make an excursion of that. Let's go do that someday.
Yeah.
Where's it? It's in the city?
It is, yes.
Oh, find it. We'll find it. What's that?
It's part of the city.
I didn't hear her. You're kind of muffled, Rebecca.
You are muffled.
You're muffled, Rebecca. Did you fall into the closet? Did you fall into your clothes?
down that rabbit hole. There I go. Yeah,
there's a black hole in her closet.
Yeah. Come on out, Beck. Come on out. We're going to take a quick break so Becky can get out of the hole, and we're going to be back after these messages. Stick around.
Sounds good.
Welcome to the brand new Avid Hotel, Wisconsin Dells Lake Delton, where the essentials are done right every time. All while in the water park capital of the world. Make a splash at Noah's Ark, America's largest water park. Or at the Land of Natura, Wisconsin Dells Natural Water Park experience. Family fun at Knucklehead's Trampoline Park. And enjoy train-delivered food at Buffalo Phil's Pizza and Grill. Start your day with our free all-around breakfast featuring rotating hot items and freshly ground premium coffee. Right here in the lobby. And a 24/7 fitness center. The new Avid Hotel, 1273 Kalahari Drive, Wisconsin Dells. Call us at 608-404-7600 to book your next getaway. 608-404-7600. Once again, that's 608-404-7600.
Are you frustrated with the way our world is becoming? Do you want to make a difference right here in your own community? Come to the next Elgin Township Republican meeting and be a part of the change you want to see. They are committed to making our community stronger, safer, and more prosperous. Whether it's through grassroots efforts, community service, or local advocacy, your voice matters. Help build a brighter future for Elgin Township. Get involved today. Visit elgingop.org and find out how you can help make a difference. Elgin Township Republicans, your community, your voice, your future. Meetings take place on the fourth Tuesday of every month at the Elgin Township Building, 729 South McLean Boulevard at 6:30 p.m. Hope to see you there. Let's build a better tomorrow together.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
Summer Lake House offers the ultimate waterfront family dining experience, complete with rustic summer-inspired decor and a menu that highlights simple, handcrafted dishes prepared with locally sourced ingredients. The Wisconsin-inspired Summer Lake House, where you can enjoy a laid-back, family-friendly vibe with delicious modern American cuisine and handcrafted cocktails. Don't just go out to eat, go outside to eat. Summer Lake House on Lake Delton.
Welcome back. You're listening to Talk Time with Tammy and Friends. We've got Nancy French and Becky Herkert with us today, doing a little talk time for you here on Fox Valley Afternoons, WRMN AM 1410. If you want to give us a call, our number is 847-931-1410. We're open for chats. We're nearing the end, but we've got time to do a little chatting if you want to call in and talk. Also, our text line is open. Now, this is the Image 360 line. It's sponsored by Image 360, and it's a text line you can use to text us whenever you want. 505-926-1410 is the number. We did have a couple texts come through, did we, Sona?
Absolutely. Downtown Jose comes in and says, "Great show, ladies."
Thank you.
Downtown Jose, and then, of course, it's the little bicycle man.
Oh, right, right.
Well. We're getting a couple thumbs up from a 630 number, and, of course, good sound drops, as somebody also said from News Nation.
Oh, love it. Great. Fabulous. We appreciate them listening in as well. We appreciate everybody listening. This is a little adventure. We're all starting together here, and we're going to do our best on this one. We got something coming up that might interest you if you have a green thumb. And if you don't have a green thumb, it might interest you even more. Becky is very good with gardening, and she's done flowers for weddings and showers, that sort of thing. So she's what I consider our little expert on gardening. She's got a little segment she wants to talk about. Is it August harvest or something, Beck? Or
about what you could be doing in your garden or should be doing in your garden right now. August, obviously, we're not having much rain. So you got to keep watering, or your plants are going to either die or go into shock, or leaves them open to disease and all of those lovely things. It's also a great time to bring in your flowers and enjoy them in bouquets. The more you cut a lot of flowers, the more blooms you're going to get outside. So if you want to do that, and then also keep feeding your flowers like twice a week, your annuals, everyone has their way. I am not a master gardener, but, I just kind of love gardening because anyone can jump right in and just start enjoying it and being outside and getting dirty. And that's why I like it.
I know you like to get dirty, young lady.
Yeah. Yeah, right, Tammy. Okay. Anyway, Tammy.
I meant dirt, Becky. Come on.
I also like to start thinking about what I'm going to start dividing and moving. The one fun thing about perennials is you can, like a lot of people share them, or you can divide them. So you might buy a $10 plant. The fall is the best time to divide it. You can divide it, move it, and, water it until the freeze comes and things go dormant. And then they, benefit by all the spring rains. And then you don't have to do as much care for it, really, because then you're going to start off again in the spring.
Now,
it's kind of nice.
Can I can I divide them in the fall, or can I do it now?
Well, you could, but the weather is just so hot that you'd have to just keep watering, and it's not good for the plants, really. I mean, it's better to wait.
For the fall. Okay.
Yeah. When the nights are cooler, the days are a little bit cooler, but you still can get your shovel in the ground and dig them up, I guess. So
Becky, what do you mean by divide? I know nothing about gardening.
All right. So let's say you have a plant like a hosta. Those are very common. You would dig it up, and let's say it's gotten really big, and you don't need that much. You can divide it. I'm sorry if I think about. You can divide it, and you would take a spade, that's a straight edge shovel, and use sometimes people use knives, and you literally cut the roots in half, and then you can cut it in half again, and then you would plant each of those. So maybe you divide it in 4s, so then instead of having 1, you have 3 more. And you can do that with daylilies. You can do it with irises. I mean, I'm sure you have a lot of listeners, Tammy, that could be really specific, because this is a lot of people's major passion. Mm-hmm. So that's what I do.
Now, can you do it in the beginning of the summer? Like, we get these onions; they keep coming back. Are they?
Of course.
I don't know what they're like. They're stringy onions that keep coming up, and they're taking over, man. They're everywhere. So I can take it in the summer.
You can do it. But there's a lot of jobs in the spring if you're gardening, and so sometimes it's nice just to get it all done in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you time to do other stuff. Plant more. Just keep buying more flowers. No. Plant more stuff.
Well, Becky has always been, when in doubt, plant more. Yeah, that's for sure.
Just plant more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's that's what I do. And I would say my favorite flower growing right now is a dahlia. That's a beautiful flower. You get different shapes, different colors. The colors are insane. A lot of florists just love dahlias because they hold up well. They have a strong stem. You'll see those in a lot of bouquets at weddings and that type of thing. And so I started to grow them for my daughter's wedding. She asked me to, and I didn't have enough yard, so I made my brother do it. I made my sister do it, and
that's kind of cool that they're all growing things, the flowers that are in your.
Yeah, it was at the tail end of the pandemic, and so we really didn't have a lot else going on. So it's like I knew I could grab them.
Yeah, well, that's maybe one good thing the pandemic did for us, huh? It had everybody grow flowers.
To find things during that pandemic, everyone got into gardening, so that was actually a good thing.
They
Good to get
did.
them outside.
Gardening, everybody put a garden in. Everybody, they bought an animal from the shelters were empty for the first time ever during the pandemic, and now they're full because people had had enough of those critters.
I didn't know that, Tammy. I didn't know that people were buying animals during the.
Yeah, oh my God, the shelters were empty because everybody was home and they wanted critters around. You know, it's nice to have a critter around when you're home, and then everybody goes back to work, and those critters go back to the shelter, and they haven't been trained, and they haven't. You know, we're done with them. So now the shelters are full again, unfortunately.
Do you remember in downstate Illinois? It was right outside the town of Carbondale, and their animal shelter, the dogs kind of ran in the neighborhood or the town. Do you remember that?
No, when was that?
Crazy. What's the name of that town? Where
Makanda?
Makanda.
Yeah.
Makanda.
Yeah.
Do you we were out, and there was just a little couple dogs just wandering around, and
they have stray dogs hanging around because that was
but their pictures were up, so they were available for adoption.
Oh, I see. And so you could just take them home. You just pick them up on the street and take them home. That's how you get them.
Yeah,
Macanda's small town. They are small town, so maybe
I don't know if they still do that, but it was a long time ago. It was funny.
Hey, Beck, let me ask you something about gardening. Can you? When should you trim your yard? Should it be a spring cleanup or a fall cleanup to get ready for the next season, or do you?
Every bush is different, but I would never do it now in August. It's just too hot and it shocks the plants or the bush. So best is to wait, but always look online. There's lots of resources out there, girls. Lots. That's how I learned.
Yeah?
All right. Thank you, Beck. That's awesome.
All right. Thanks, Beck. Hey, kids, we're nearing the end of our gig here. We appreciate everybody tuning in and listening today. We'll be back tomorrow. Mary will be in studio with me. Make sure you tune in. And for now, make good decisions.
Most valuable possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
If you are 50 years and older, you are welcome to join Elgin State Bank's sponsored movie days at Elgin Marcus Theater. It will always be on the second Thursday of each month. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. At 9 a.m., you will hear a very brief message from Sherry Aschenbrenner about upcoming senior events, and movies will begin at approximately 9:30 a.m. Coffee and a donut is complimentary. You can always call the movie theater hotline number of 847-888-7976 to find out what movies are playing each month. The cost is $3 if you are a member of Elgin State Bank, meaning you have an account there, and $5 if you are a non-member. And for more senior information, catch Sherry's Senior Showcase on the third Tuesday of every month at 9:15 a.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Swung in and ripped to deep left, away back, way out of here.
Guardians Radio 2-1 the win over the Cubs. Javier Assad went 4 2/3. He struck out 2, allowed 1 run on 5 hits. Drew Smiley suffered the loss. Rookie Jean-Kinsey Noel hit a 430-foot homer in the 6th off Smiley that stood up as the game winner. The Yankees beat the White Sox 4-1. Juan Soto homered 3 times. Luis Robert Jr. spoiled New York's shutout bid with an 8th inning RBI single. The Sox have losses in 31 of their last 36. The Bears are hopeful that Montez Sweat will be ready to go by the time they battle the Titans in Week 1. The star defensive end has been out for about 2 weeks with an undisclosed injury.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider. A spider! Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo.
B-Lux Bar and Grill Wisconsin Dells is the quintessential American grill and bar with refined rustic cuisine and award-winning libations. Their honest, feel-good food menu is complemented by a beer list to satisfy every taste. Classic cocktails and our signature shakes, rich and creamy with a splash of boozy goodness just to shake things up a little bit. B-Lux Grill and Bar, classic American cuisine with a contemporary twist.
A recent Gallup poll indicated that 38% of Americans are putting off health care because of financial concerns, the highest ever recorded. I'm Dr. Bob Martin, here to serve you every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4. Millions of Americans are seeking health advice that will not cost an arm and a leg, so I offer health tips and advice absolutely free. Listen to my show, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 4 right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM, the voice of the Valley and the home of Radio Shopping Show.
Welcome back to WRMN. This is a political talk show. That's right. A political talk show starts every day at 4 o'clock, right after Tammy, which is Talk Time with Tammy and Friends, another wonderful show that is here on WRMN. We're waiting on my guest to show up for today, and that is going to be Al Iverson. Al Iverson was an Illinois math teacher in high school, and he is actually going to come in and talk with us a little bit about this theory of digital amnesia. Now, the reason I brought in a math teacher for it, and the reason I brought in Al, well, Al is a great friend of the station to begin with, but also Al kind of started to see that with his math classes, right? We all had the calculator. You learn how to do it, you memorize your tables and everything else, but if I don't have to memorize necessarily what 3 times whatever table is out there, I can just have my calculator with me every day. Remember when your teacher said, "Are you going to walk around all day with your calculator in your pocket?" Yeah, I do. It's here. But now I walk around with an encyclopedia in my pocket. In fact, I call it the Library of Alexandria in my pocket, because it is all the different encyclopedias, all the different things. I believe the last study that I read is about information technology and the storage of information, is that we create as much information as from the, hello ladies, hope you're enjoying the weather, make sure you get that umbrella out. Just seeing some people walk past the station here. But anyway, that's right, 14 Douglas, if you want to come say hi as well. But the last thing I heard was that the amount of information that we create in just 2 days is all the way from the beginning of human history to 2003. Think about all the books, all the movies, all the everything, all of the human information, every single farmer's almanac, every single tablet that was ever written, every single book, Gutenberg, otherwise, that has ever been written, all the way up from the beginning of human recorded history, all the way to 2003. It takes us now 2 days to make that much information. Now, is that information viable? Not to us as regular humans. I don't need to know spreadsheet after spreadsheet of the pressure plates that are under a street light. It's not a very compelling read for me. I tried it once. It was terrible. I only do it to go to sleep now. So do we need all of this information? Well, you can argue there is a certain number of information that you actually need to do it, to just survive. I need to know how money works. I need to know simple math, at least addition and subtraction into some sort. I need to know that physical objects can't be pushed by me, a physical thing too. So there are things that we just instinctively know and don't have to Google. Breathing, heartbeats, et cetera, but there are things that maybe we should retain, of like nutrition facts. Is it the good cholesterol or bad cholesterol? So it's different things that maybe we need to know, or even, heck, who the president is, right? Could you imagine if we walked around every day thinking that there was a completely different president, all until we Googled it? There may be some people that are out there that do it. So we all find that line of where we decide that, you know what, I'm going to let somebody else remember that so that I can just look where it is. There's an adage that I found in the Navy that's kind of helped me with this, but is almost an example of this effect. And that is, I don't need to know the information necessarily. Now, it's good to retain some for your job, but it's better to know where the information lives, because a book remembers things a lot better than I do, especially 900, 2,000 page manual might retain that information a little bit better than I do. Well, it's called the Google effect, understanding digital amnesia. So the Google effect, also known as digital amnesia, refers to the phenomenon where people are less likely to remember the information that can easily be found online. The term emerged from a study published by Betsy Sparrow, Jenny Liu, and Daniel M. Wegner in 2011, which found that individuals are more likely to remember where information can be accessed rather than the information itself. As search engines like Google have become integral to our daily lives, this effect has raised questions about technology and how technology influences our cognitive processes. There's my buddy right there jumping in. Why don't you go ahead and get a glass of water or something, man? We'll see you in a second. How technology influences our cognitive process, particularly memory. Understanding the Google effect. The Google effect is rooted in the concept of transactive memory, a theory first proposed by Daniel Wegner in 1985, which, again, in 2011, he coined the term the Google effect. Transitive memory systems refer to a shared division of labor for remembering things among individuals in a group. For example, in a relationship, one partner might remember birthdays while the other recalls the financial details. In the context of the Google effect, the internet becomes an external memory source, with individuals outsourcing the retention of information to digital devices and search engines. When we know information is easily accessible online, we are less motivated to memorize it. Instead, we remember how to retrieve the information, such as recalling the search term for the specific website where it can be found. This reliance on external memory can lead to a reduction in the ability to remember the actual details that we once might have committed to memory. Like Tammy was talking about phone numbers. In the previous show, Talk Time with Tammy and Friends, she was saying that how her phone now just retains all the information for phone numbers. Do you remember how you had to recite your phone number for your house or your address, or where was that place, or what was that thing, or where was that recipe? Because we could all go to our grandmothers and say, hey, that French toast recipe, what did you have in there? Oh, well, you do a splash of this, you do a cup of that, you put these in there. You know what? Maybe if you go into my recipe book, it might be sitting in there. But that's the reason why we wrote things down. Like, that's why you write things down when people say things at you. Like, let's say I was to say, in the next hour, we're going to be taking your phone calls, 847-931-1410. You would go ahead and either repeat that over and over again, 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410, or you would get out a piece of paper and a pen and you would write down 847-931-1410. But what you really need to remember is that that's when we open up the phone lines at 5 o'clock for it. So this whole thing of what do we retain versus what do we outsource to another object? Do we outsource that information to a computer? Do I outsource that information to a textbook, a recipe book, a note to a friend? Where do we draw that line is obviously personal for some people and also based off your cognitive ability. Here's the implications of the cognitive function. While the Google effect highlights the adaptability of human cognition in the digital age, it also raises the concern about long-term implications of this reliance on technology. One of the primary concerns is the potential decline in memory retention and critical thinking skills. This is where we bring our apolitical hats on with the critical thinking skills. If I don't remember the facts, or even worse, maybe I remember half of the fact, or I remember the fact wrongly. and turn around from that. Now my entire critical thinking is based off of a fact that I did not commit to memory, that I gleaned off, but I remember where I can find that a little bit more. How often have you seen somebody in an argument pull up a phone? Like, let me pull this thing out, or let me get my stuff. We walk around with the Library of Alexandria in our pockets, and joining me now is the amazing Al Iverson. Thank you so much for being here with me today, sir.
Well, Sonar, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure and fun.
Yeah, it is. It is fun when I have you in here, even when we don't have you in studio. When you just come in and just hang out with us in the office too. I love the conversations. And earlier this week, we were talking about your history as a math teacher, right? And we brought up calculators. We brought up because I bet you were one of those teachers that said just offhandedly, "Oh, what are you going to walk around all day with a calculator in your pocket?" Or you remember hearing that growing up when they said you got to memorize these tables?
Yeah, when I was in school and everything, we memorized the tables, and the kids that came up in class did also. But when the calculator came out, I was really on the forefront of using it. However, our department at Schaumburg High School, we would make up a test with two parts, calculator and non-calculator part.
Okay.
So the kids would get real good with the calculator and use it on that part. And then we would have, maybe 2 sheets with the calculator, and then the second 2 sheets would be non-calculator. And when I was teaching AP calculus, that's how the tests were at first. I don't know if they still are that way, calculator and non-calculator. And I was at the graphing calculator, patting myself on the back. I really knew what I was doing. But I still think the kids needed to memorize in grammar school their multiplication tables, their addition tables. And
well, even from those, even for those, if you take addition, subtraction, which all it is just negative addition, right? So you got addition, subtraction, and then you've got multiplication, which again is just division, but the opposite direction. But with just those 4 mechanics, if you can understand those 4, you can build the rest of your mathematical skills.
Yes.
Off of just those 4 principles. Add, subtract, or multiple and divide, which again is just addition and subtraction again, just on a larger scale. So if you could memorize your tables, or at least internalize those tables. For me, multiplication is just hard because it's hard to recite those things. 3 times 3
but
is
in the
9
Navy,
and all
didn't
that.
you use all that?
Yes,
those skills?
Absolutely used every single
sonar,
one of them.
I would think you would.
Yeah, so we used it for both sound propagation of how the sound would travel through the water itself. And then we also used it for target motion analysis. And then I also was a mechanic or an engineer and maintained my own system. So I had to know not necessarily Snell's law, but I had to know ohms and everything else that's in there. So it was a lot of formulas.
Didn't you use a lot of trigonometry too?
We did, because what was neat about our system is we could use the sonar dome in the front and then the towed sonar array behind us as 2 points, and we were able to find the triangulation.
Yeah, we
of
did
that
triangulation
person
when I taught trigonometry,
which was really, really neat to be able to do. And a lot of that was, instead of giving us calculators, we had a lot of wax, pencil, and charts to be able to do it. I fill in a few things, and then that chart with a sliding scale would show me exactly where that was. It was a little faster than having to retain it, but again, it was back to how do I find that information more than retaining that information itself.
See, when I taught trig, I made them memorize the trig table, and we'd have tests.
Oh, goodness.
3-minute tests filling out parts of the trig table, because I didn't want them to pull out their calculator and take the tangent of 45 on them. I wanted them to know the tangent of 45 was
And when
1.
when did you teach, just so that we have a time frame?
I started in 1974, 75, and then I retired in 2006. 6, 7.
Okay.
So I taught 33 years.
So you were having already, you got to see the transition from paper and analog through that digital side of it.
Yeah, although I called a teacher this week, and who shall remain nameless, but an excellent teacher who's been there 20-some years now. And she says, we don't use any of the worksheets or anything anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
We haven't used them. It's all on the Chromebook.
Well,
and when I was subbing, that's what I saw at the end out in California. They were doing that all the time, and I didn't like it. I wanted to see them use the paper and pencil. Maybe it was just my prejudice, but I wanted to see them do that.
Well, one of my favorite words as a teacher is pedagogic. The mode in which you teach something is the pedagogic approach or pedagogical approach that you have, where I think the keyboard aspect of it takes away that hand and eyesight type of thing, because yeah, we may have our own favorite font that's out there, but there's something about learning something in your own handwriting. It's handwriting that you've had your entire life. Also, the physical movement. At least that's the way I do it.
Yeah, I think you have a good point. I do. But I will say this.
Okay.
You asked me, how have kids changed? And I think kids are kids. When I first started teaching in 74, the older teachers had started right after World War II.
Okay.
Or maybe even before World War II. And they were saying, well, kids aren't the same. Kids aren't the same. And so when I got to be at the end of my career, I never said that, but some of the other teachers were saying that again. And I would relate and say, well, the kids are kids. And as long as you treat them with respect and you get along with them and you treat them fairly, they're going to treat you okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the times have certainly changed, but I don't think the kids change as much as the methods and the technology that was going on. I don't know what maybe I'm totally wrong in saying that, but looking back at it, and some of the teachers when I first were excellent teachers, but they started, in 1938, went to World War II, came back on the GI Bill, finished their education, and, came back to teaching in 1948, and, and it's not the same as it used to be.
Well, that's the way it's always been, too. I mean, young people are high-minded because they have not yet been humbled by life, nor have they experienced the force of circumstances. That's Aristotle.
Yes, it is.
The beardless youth does not foresee that is useful in squandering the money. Horace in the 1st century BC. So you're right. It always goes back to it. Youth were never more saucy, yet never more savagely saucine. The ancients are scorned and the honorable are contempted. Wise man forecast in the evil time Thomas Baines in 1624. So it's always the youth that don't know how good they have it.
Well, even Plato, I don't know who the first one was upset with his learned person because they were going off on a tangent.
Oh yeah, well I think
they don't respect the youth. Who was first, Plato or Aristotle?
Aristotle, I think, and Plato. Well, no, Aristotle was Plato's was Plato's teacher. And I think it's Socrates and Plato were the ones that worked together. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was that same kind of side of it where it's just back to. It's just back to the generation after generation as it goes. Now, if we maybe had a cycle where we all got to be young again, maybe we'd turn around and say, hey, yeah, you know what? Young people are okay. But the reason that we move forward is times change and we want to hold on to the way that we did it and the way that we learned it. How is that? And we all think that the youth is destroying whatever we had built, but they're building something else. Do you see any skills that are starting to grow out of this instead of the skills that they are necessarily losing?
Well, I do think on the my son and daughter, although they went, they're approaching or are 40. They had the skills that I was talking about, pen and paper, but their skills with a computer and analyzing things and my son in the movies, he does stuff on the computer that can blow my mind how they can, show me how to do something on there where and I'm okay on it. My wife is excellent, but some of my friends, have an attack if they had to use a computer. They don't know what to do.
Before we go to this, before we go to the break at the bottom, let's kind of put it in the frame of, did you learn how to drive an automatic or a manual?
Oh, manual.
Yeah.
But I was but I'm going to warn you or tell you, I was one of the few people that did, because that's what my dad always had. And most of my friends, my dad was 47 years older than me. Most of my friends, my parents could have been most of my friends' parents' parents.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad had a station wagon with a 3-speed shift on it. And that's what I learned how to drive on, which was unbelievable. And most of my friends, not most of them, I'd say 50% of them could not use a stick shift.
And that's where I think that's the same thing that we're talking about here. It's the technology changed, and therefore we don't necessarily need that skill anymore. And we've got these hold-ons. Like, I was asked the other day if I teach my children cursive. Yeah, we do. And we still teach math the way that I learned it, but I learn how they do the Common Core aspect of it. Because math is math is math is math. You come up with your own way to do it in your head how you want to. Whatever's easiest for you is what you will eventually lean into.
At the end of my career, we started having writing across the curriculum, and I wasn't going to care for that at all. I didn't like the idea. But once I started using it, it was great for the kids, because we had to, let's say they solved an algebra problem, then they had to write a sentence or two about how they did it and why they did what they did. And that turned out to be excellent. And it was a great skill for me to learn how to do that. So there have been some good things, good developments,
And that's where I think that pedagogic approach is there. But at the end of the day, it's all about learning. Learn, learn, learn. Whether you learn from a teacher, you learn from life, or you're an autodidact, go out there into the world and learn and learn and learn. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about just some of the ways that we can be literate in our life outside of just math literacy and, of course, mathematical or English literacy. When we come back, more here on A Political Talk Show. I almost head out to lunch.
WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a 2-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The 2-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Porton Public Library on both days. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a two-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The two-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Porton Public Library on both days. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Welcome back to A Political Talk Show. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. We're getting apolitical today, but you know what? We're getting a little bit political as we went. We just went into the Google effect. We're sitting with Al Iverson, retired teacher. But Al, have you been in classrooms here recently?
Yes. When I retired, my wife retired a year later, and I did a couple long-term subs, but that was in 07, 08.
Okay.
And then we spend the winters in California. And my first year out, I went to a Super Bowl party, and I met the personnel director for Palm Springs Unified School District.
Okay.
And when he heard I had a master's in math, which is another thing about the school systems in California, Sonar, you can ask me a question about that. But he immediately offered me, he said, he was political. He said, if this is true, how would you like a job? And I says, look, I don't want to work full time anymore, but I'll sub for you. So I subbed for 15 years, at first 3 or 4 days a week, and then the last couple of years, 2, maybe 3 days a week. And that's how I saw the advent of the Chromebook so I was a little bit aware of the changes. I'm not just saying that, I walked into a classroom 15 years later and I saw him using the Chromebooks. I saw the development of that.
Yeah, where it went from, even for when I had it, I went from typing on a typewriter in middle school, and then as soon as I went into high school, they said, no, here's all the keyboards, let's go. And so still having that, but it was
When did you
still
graduate
typing.
from high school?
So I graduated in 03 is when I graduated. Oh, so gosh. I know, right? Even it feels long for me, but I'm sure it feels longer for you.
That was almost when I retired.
Thank you, Tammy. And that's where I even saw the transition, because when I was going through school, I always had to use the encyclopedia that we had. The internet was barely even a thing in like the government when I was going through school. And we had at least 3 different editions of the encyclopedia in the house, so that we could have all the different cross references for things. I think my dad had one when he was a kid and brought it over, so we had one from like the 70s. My mom had another one that she had recently bought from the 80s. And then when we started going to school, we updated ours in the 90s to make sure that we had a more updated one.
We had World Book Encyclopedia, and the big thing was, should we get that or Britannica?
Yes.
And Britannica was so expensive that, we looked at the two, and I liked the World Book. It was more easy for me. And every year we'd get a booklet of updates, another book to add on, and all kinds of stickers to go to. Let's say it was something, some update, say, for Nigeria. So in the original thing about Nigeria, I'm just making this up, you could put a sticker in and then go to the updated book and say, oh, they, had a new president or a new revolution there or whatever the heck.
Or there was a correction or something. Like instead of August of this year, it was actually October of that year, and here was the correction for it.
So that was, and I had to go through. My parents made me go through and do that. And I didn't like that. But.
Yeah, and I remember them too.
And of course, now the encyclopedia is.
Oh, right here, yeah. We got the Library of Alexandria sitting in our pockets here, along with like a bunch of different tools. Like, I mean, we have accelerometers, we have gyroscopes, we have levelers, we have.
Yeah, I have a leveler.
I use a sound pressure level system for mine to measure the decibels in an area. I have a microphone I plug into the side of it to measure the sound in a room before I go in there, and it's amazing. I've seen people with FLIR where they're able to take and see actual infrared with their phones. So it's amazing the device that we've got.
I know there's a leveler. I've used it.
Absolutely, that a gyroscope too. You ever get the shake your phone to recalibrate your distance or whatever?
Well, a lot of people don't
doing?
even know if you go to the calculator on it and turn it on its side, it becomes almost a graphing calculator.
Yeah, it turns at least to the smart side. You get your cosines and your square roots in there. But I want to talk a little bit about how you've seen classrooms kind of evolve, not necessarily as the technology, but more as the society has kind of changed around the classroom, where it went from do your homework, be a good student, and then you'll go to I'm going to have my parents talk to you about that stuff, right? Where it went from take responsibility for your own child to what did you do, teacher? Why is my son not smart? It's your fault. It's not my fault as a parent who didn't help my child get better. It's all the teacher's fault. Has that responsibility kind of grown on the public school aspect of it?
Well, the teachers now have to do a lot more than just teach their subject.
Yeah.
They have to be somewhat of a social worker, somewhat. And going back to what you said too about the parents perhaps getting too involved and coming in, that always happened, but I think it's more. Instead of maybe 1 or 2 parents, there might be 10 or 12 that you have to do. It's broadened, where a lot of parents come in and they perhaps, but of course, I didn't see it very much out west because the students I taught out west were around 80% Hispanic.
Really?
And in the Coachella Valley. And most of the Caucasian people out there sent their kids to private schools. And I was in the public schools. And I will say this, the parents of the mostly Mexican, they are extremely supportive. They would come in and they always had an interpreter for them to make sure the things got interpreted correctly. But they would tell their kids, 9 out of 10 times you do what the teacher says.
Yeah.
My kid did this, it will not happen again.
Mm-hmm.
And out there, too, they had a rule, which I thought was great, where they couldn't speak another language in the classroom.
Oh.
If they did, it could be a 3-day suspension.
Really?
Now, you had to use common sense. I had a lot of students that would say, Mr. Iverson, Joe or Sue just came from Mexico. Can I tell him? They explain the assignment to him, which is fine. In the 15 years I did it, I only had one time when I had some kids looking at me and speaking another language and laughing, and I turned them in.
Mm-hmm.
And they got the suspension.
Oh, yeah.
They were strict on that.
Yeah, and even now there's even some places here in Chicago and then also in like Wisconsin where the sanctuary city aspect of everything is getting to the point where we're getting a lot of children that don't speak English in any kind of way. Mm-hmm. And so we've now had to create almost this subsect of education where it has to be tailored to a different language.
Right. Well, out there, they did have these kids taking English as a second language, 1 or 2 periods a day, where they were immersing them into the English language.
But they still had to stay English in your classroom.
In the classrooms,
Okay.
yes. And but I didn't mind if someone explained the assignment in another language or whatever. There was no problem. And I really enjoyed it out there. It was a total different experience. They had hallways, but you opened the door and you were outside.
Oh, that's cool.
They had, everything was outside the classroom, and everybody had lunch at the same time, teachers and students.
That helps with that good weather, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It
Oh,
couldn't
it's
do that here in
beautiful.
Chicago. You walk out the door and you got a snow pile you got to push out of
Here's
the
a funny.
way.
Some of these kids have never seen snow except in the mountains, and they haven't
Yeah.
gone up there. And I was doing a lot of subbing for a math teacher who was also the girls' swimming coach. And out there, they all got a free lunch and a free breakfast. And so when I'd sub for this guy in the morning, the girls that did their swimming would be eating their breakfast in the classroom before period start, and he would always be going somewhere and showing me what he wanted me to do that day and leave. And the girls one time said to me, now the pools were outside, and it was pretty cool that day, so they were cold. And they said, well, how do you do it in Illinois with the swimming? And I said, well, the pools are indoors. They didn't realize that. They had no conception of an indoor swimming pool.
Yeah. Or a heated one at that point.
No. And I just looked at him, and he started laughing, too. And another funny thing, I did a lot of subbing for physics and chemistry because I have a minor in that. And I did the physics. This guy was retiring, and he was taking every Friday off and going up to Bear Mountain. And I was subbing every Friday for him, and he liked having me in there because I said, just leave the key and I can explain it to him. And then when he retired, they hired a guy who had gone through Hoffman Estates High School.
Really?
To be the new physics teacher. And of course, he never missed. I never got to sub for him, but I talked to him because Hoffman is the next to Schaumburg, and I knew a lot of the teachers and stuff. Anyway, we got off course. but I
No,
thought
that's
that was
fine.
interesting.
That is interesting because it's the different styles of the East Coast and West Coast as well. In the Navy, we said it gets more lax the further you get from D.C.
Oh, really?
So if that's the center point, I guess it's the further you get away from the Pentagon. That's what you're able to.
Were you stationed in
to do
D.C.
it.
for a while?
I was stationed in Norfolk, and I was able to go to D.C. quite a few times. We went to there was another base in between Langley and Norfolk that I stayed at for a little bit, where we were doing a couple of NASA training runs for things. Wasn't anything. The coolest part about it was the badge. It was the first time in my entire life I had a badge that said NASA on it, which was really neat. But of course, it was a secret base, so I wasn't allowed to take pictures of my NASA badge.
Did you ever go to Virginia Beach?
Yeah, Virginia Beach quite often. That had a great concert venue. I would go there and see Styx, Foreigner, and
Well, they have a
all
big
them.
naval base there, too.
Norfolk, Virginia. Norfolk
so
is
that's
where
where
it is.
my cousin was.
Yeah, Norfolk is
My
where I
cousin's
was
husband
stationed.
was
Yeah,
well, he's probably your age. You may have.
the largest naval base in the world. is in Norfolk, or the U.S. Naval Base. I'm sure there might be a bigger one out there. But the other thing before we go to the end of the show, I wanted to kind of get into the back to that cultural change of schools and the different varieties. There's now in Louisiana and Oklahoma where they are trying to get a physical copy on display, a displayed copy, not just like, hey, it's in the corner or in the bookshelf or anything like that. The 10 Commandments need to be on display now.
On the wall.
On the wall.
In a good size. I've seen it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think at least by an 8x11, so at least a printed out version of it. It needs to be in a legible font, and it needs to be almost like a prominent side.
Yeah,
What do you feel about this? I don't want to sway you one way or the other.
No, I'll tell you exactly how I feel. My wife and I attend church regularly. Our children have been brought up. My daughter is married to a pastor. My son is very faith-oriented, and I don't agree with it. Because when I taught, I had kids in the classroom of many different faiths, and I would be offended if they put up another faith commandments. Whether, I'm not going to mention one, but whatever it was, I would be offended. And if they said, these are the rules, this is the way it is, that would personally offend me. And I'm not going to put my values on someone else. Certainly I'll say, you shouldn't steal, you should treat your other people in the class the same way, you shouldn't commit murder, and that's probably crossbred of all the faiths.
But you don't necessarily need that asterisk that says
we don't need
brought
it to be
you by
the Christian
the Bible.
or the Jewish. Well, I guess it's Jewish, the 10 Commandments.
Exactly. Well, even in Kentucky, when the Kentucky Supreme Court members were back in 1980, when they were trying to put the 10 Commandments that were in there, they used the opinion that said basically the 10 Commandments is code of conduct, which just so happens to be rooted in Judeo-Christian history. It's like, well, do you even need to mention that? I think that's where we need to kind of draw the line is, yes, do not steal, do not hurt. Do I have to tell school children not to kill each other? No. I mean, do I have to tell school children not to covet each other's wives? It's back to let's disseminate the information to the people who are receiving them. If my message is off to the person receiving it, then it's not going to be an effective message. The simple way to say that, am I the right mouth for these ears? And so is the 10 Commandments the right mouth for children's ears?
No, and I think it's going to cause a lot of, some kids will come in, whether they're Christian or Jewish or of another faith, and be resentful of that. And I think it may cause more problems than it solves, for sure. But it would upset me if I had to put that up on my bulletin board.
Put that up? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but if you were in Louisiana or Oklahoma, would you put it up, or would you say this is my conviction?
I think if it was my first job and I wasn't on tenure,
okay, I understand that.
I would maybe reluctantly put it up. As I got a little more spunky, I don't think I would.
There's a lot of teachers' unions that are coming together and saying flat out, we're just not going to. There are even school district managers that are saying, we will protect you at this level if you don't feel comfortable putting it up.
They'll have so many lawsuits going on, it'll just be...
Because even not necessarily, and that's what they said. They said, bring them on.
Yeah.
Because what they want to do is they want to take it to the Supreme Court. Now, regardless of how we feel about that, we'll see where it actually lands. But my thing is with it is where do your rights as a teacher come in with this? Now, you may turn around and say, I am of a different faith, and therefore I am not supposed to further a different faith. You know what I mean? If you have that in your laws. I mean, honestly, there's only two religions that really come to mind for me that you have to convert to be part of that religion. There's only a few of them that are out there. Most religions, like Buddhist or Hindu or something like that, it's kind of like a casual, like here's, and I hate to call a full religion casual, but it's more of a come in and out and be yourself than it is I have to change my entire life structure to follow that. And of course I'm digging myself my hole, but
well, I mean, that's what it's about, isn't it? Giving your views.
Absolutely. And what I'm trying to say is they want to say all day that a business owner can refuse service based off of anything, a creed or a religion or a color or anything like that, because it's the business owner's First Amendment rights. Well, where does that come in for a teacher who now has to be in that classroom and teach these things that aren't, I would say, secular information?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. And are they saying in those two states that they have to teach those commandments or just display them?
They're saying that they have to be displayed, and if anybody asks about them, they have to then provide more information.
So they have to be fluent in those.
Some sort of advocate, or at least back to knowing where the information lies. Both of them are different because they're also both coming from two different ways. I think the Oklahoma one is the statewide school board director is saying that, and then the Louisiana one is the actual state law now. Yeah. So it's a change for that. So in the last 5 minutes, there's one more thing I want to ask you about because you are such a well-versed educator.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and even then, how often can I speak with anybody that's been doing anything since the 70s? It's hard to find. Me, I've only been doing it since the aught tens, right? So I want to really get somebody's opinion on this of school vouchers, of where it splits from there, because most of these school vouchers end up in a private and sometimes religious school as well. Is this the same kind of concept where I'm taking public funds away from public organizations and moving it towards a private entity?
Yeah, I'm not really in favor of that, I'll be honest with you. And also, I think they've shown that these vouchers are helping the upper class more than they are the lower class.
Because you're removing the money from the public system. You're essentially, if nobody knows what a school voucher is, it's saying that my child is going to go to this private school and is not part of the public system, so therefore you're going to get me a voucher to the school.
And a voucher is money.
Yes.
And it doesn't pay for the entire private school, but it makes it less of a cost to them. And if you've got a fair amount of money, you can make up the difference, where if you're a poor fella, a poorer family, or the voucher, you still couldn't afford to send your kid to that school. So it's a way of, and some people look at it, it's a way of getting my son or daughter away from people I don't want them to be by.
I understand that.
And no, I'm not. And it's going to hurt the public schools too, because they're going to have less money.
Absolutely. And even then, the vice presidential candidate, Walz, even said in some of his interviews is, where are you going to find a private school in a town of 400? Yeah. So where does the school vouchers help that small town? It hurts them, if anything, especially if it's a state school voucher. Now you're pulling money out of that system that small town needs. Just down the road from where I went to school was a school that was K through 12 in a town that they removed the stoplight because it was holding up traffic. And those towns are the ones that are really going to suffer by removing that stipend and removing that
I never
money.
thought of that, but that's an excellent problem.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a problem. And you know what? You love solving problems, so get on it, buddy. No, Al Iverson has been sitting with me today. Where can we find more information about you or any of the projects that you and your family are working on? I know we've got forprofitfilm.com is a great place to go from there.
Yeah, that's what I've been advertising, and everybody I meet, I've been handing out a thing on it, and the son.
We'll pick up a couple more. We still got some floating in here.
I'm going to. And, my son is doing well with it, and hopefully people are watching it on TV. It's in, as you've mention them again, it's on all different platforms.
Oh, yeah. Apple, it's on Amazon is where I got it from. You can also buy it on YouTube as well. And honestly, I think you can rent it for like $4.
$4.99, some places $3.99, or buy it anywhere from $12 to $17.
Absolutely. And then you got it forever. You can turn it on anytime that you want to.
And it's got one of the highest ratings of any film.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Last time I checked, it was 9 something, right?
9.2.
Wow, that has already climbed quite a bit. So I can't wait to just play it again. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
Sam.
Exactly. I watched it a couple of weeks ago. I've got my dad coming into town this weekend, and that's why I bought it, so that I could watch it over and over again with it. And it's a great movie. Go ahead and find forprofitfilm.com/watch is where you can go to find information on
It's
that.
a comedy drama with some faith, but not get down on your knees and pray to this certain religion, with some faith aspects.
Absolutely. It's listening to that little voice. What you call that little voice is up to you.
You're self-conscious.
But I'll tell you, that's where it is. Hey, coming up, we've got somebody who's going to come right in like they normally do. We've got the drink of the day coming up. And of course, that is brought to you by The Distant Social. Matt McNeil will be jumping back in and having a great time for the drive time side. But we've got that drink of the day coming right after this. Hey, thank you for listening to Apolitical Talk Show. Don't forget to find the podcast out there.
And thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Anytime. I love picking a smart brain like yours, buddy. I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
America's Best Restaurants travels the country and features restaurants that you should visit each week. Recently, the cast and crew made their way to Renata's German Restaurant in Hanover Park. Renata serves old family recipes and delicious German-influenced food. Renata's also specializes in a wide variety of traditional German baked goods, too. So, if you've yet to visit Renata's, try America's Best Restaurants choice. Drop in soon for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit renatasgermanrestaurant.com.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a 2-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The 2-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Porden Public Library on both days. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Anderson Japanese Gardens, ranked the highest quality Japanese garden in North America and located right in the heart of Rockford. Their mission is to open minds to a different culture while offering a place of peace and tranquility where one can find healing, renewal, inspiration, and a re-energized soul. A premier destination for corporate functions, special events, weddings, and receptions. For directions, hours, and fees, visit andersongarden.org today.
Take a historic walk through the home of America's greatest showman, Al Ringling. Located in Baraboo, Wisconsin, you can view the grand opulence on a guided tour, now hourly starting 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Weekday tours begin on the veranda and on the weekends in the tap room of the Al Ringling Brewery. Behind the mansion, kick back and try a flight of craft beers and dine at this family-friendly stop. Visit alringlingmansion.com for more information.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears are hopeful that Montez Sweat will be ready to go by the time they battle the Titans in Week 1. The star defensive end has been out for about 2 weeks with an undisclosed injury.
Swing it and rip to deep left, away back, way out of here!
Guardians Radio 2-1 the win over the Cubs. Javier Assad went 4 2/3. He struck out 2, allowed 1 run on 5 hits. Drew Smiley suffered the loss. Rookie Jean-Kenzie Noel hit a 430-foot homer in the 6th off Smiley that stood up as the game winner. The Yankees beat the White Sox 4-1. Juan Soto homered 3 times. Luis Robert Jr. spoiled New York's shutout bid with an 8th inning RBI single. The Sox have losses in 31 of their last 36.
Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive.
I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ugh, kitchen ants, runaway roaches, a spider. A spider. A spider! Relax. Just use Zevo. Zevo insect killer sprays use a powerful blend of mint and rosemary to eliminate those pests and up to 20 other bug types. Plus, Zevo is safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Just spray the bugs and wipe them away. Zevo.
Wake up, Fox River Valley. WRMN AM 1410 is shaking things up with a brand new weekday lineup that'll keep you informed, entertained, and engaged. I'm Marky B, WRMN Program Director and host of The First Shift, inviting you to start your day with The First Shift from 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. Larry Jones, Jakes, myself, and the entire First Shift team bring you the latest local news, entertainment, and, my favorite, more to kick off your morning. Then it's out to lunch with Matt McNeil from 10 until 1 p.m. Tune in for your midday fix of news, interviews, community happenings, and of course, the legendary WRMN Tradio Show. In the afternoon, join us for Fox Valley Afternoons from 2 until 6 p.m. Tammy and friends will chat lifestyle from 2 to 4, while Sonar and his crew dive into politics and news from 4 until 6. Plus, get to know the movers and shakers of the Fox River Valley with exclusive interviews, too. Don't miss out on our new local lineup that's tailor-made for you. WRMN AM 1410, the talk of the town. Tune in and turn it up.
hello, everybody. Hopefully everyone's having a good afternoon so far. I know that taking over here for the rest of the hour of A Political Talk Show. This is a little bit of an afternoon drive here for Drink of the Day. Looking forward to it. Yes. Hopefully everyone's having a good day so far. Thank you to Sonar for letting us come on here during the show. Broadcasting live here from downtown Elgin. Hopefully everyone's having a good day so far. Hopefully you are setting some time for yourself to relax, enjoy yourself, have a good night, go out to a nice place, maybe get a drink, listen in for Drink of the Day. We are here, both of us, not just me. I've got Joey here.
Hello.
How are you doing? How's the headset working for you?
It's working. Can you hear me?
Let's see. If you move it up just a little bit more.
Oh, hello.
There we go.
Hello.
Sounds good.
So you make a terrible pilot.
That's what he was saying. He's like, I feel like I'm driving a plane.
I know.
Like I'm a pilot there. So, if you are unfamiliar with Joey here, he is would you say owner or co-owner of the Distance Social?
Co-owner, I guess.
Okay.
I don't solely own it.
You don't solely own
I
it?
take part in ownership.
Okay. That's you and your dad, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Father-son duo here at the Distance Social. Distance Social is located at 314 North River Street in beautiful East Dundee, Illinois. They're open now until 11 p.m. And we've got Drink of the Day. Yes. Now, we have been talking here before getting on the airwaves, still continuing on with the Drink of the Day and moving it to Tammy's side of things. Now, Tammy, of course, is more familiar with bar drinks than I am. Although I would love to join in during those times too. Yeah. Get myself a little more educated on some of the cool drinks that you have to offer.
What's your show anyway?
So my show is Out to Lunch with WRMN. That's the new show that I have now. It's from 10 to 1 o'clock Monday through Friday.
Nice.
And what I do is I talk about local places that offer good food, entertainment, so arts and entertainment. I'll talk about any upcoming shows, local theaters. I'll also talk about, there's something called the National Day Calendar. So it's a website you can go to, and there's always something that you can celebrate. Like today's National Lemon Meringue Pie Day.
That'd be handy.
Yeah. Or National, what was it the other? It's IPA Days today.
Oh, cool.
As well.
I was just going to say there's a lot of those for like liquor products.
Exactly. So that worked out, the fact that today was Drink of the Day and with it being IPA Day. So.
Well, I did not bring an IPA.
But you brought something else. What do we have in store here?
I brought something bitter as well. So
bitter?
I mean,
I know
quite
you.
An IPA.
You were telling me, you're like, I don't know if you're gonna like it.
Yeah,
I'm trying
we'll
new
find
stuff.
out. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
It's the Negroni.
Okay.
It's a classic cocktail. I think it dates back to like the 1860s was when it was invented, but sort of its origins go even further than that.
Okay, so during the Civil War time.
Yeah, but it would have been in Italy during Civil War times in Italy.
I know in the past you've said too that like the 1800s was quite the popular time for making different drinks.
Yeah, I don't really know why. I haven't really looked into it, but my suspicion would be that there's just sort of probably a lot of new spirits and techniques that came out during that time, right? Like the Industrial Revolution and all of that.
Right.
And really like Campari, which would have been a new liquor sort of in that time, gave way to a drink which eventually led to the Negroni that we're going to make.
Awesome. Very cool. Now, what is again, I'm not familiar with the drinks that you have in front of us. So,
yeah, which one do you want me to grab?
So we'll start off here with the that one that you're grabbing on right now.
This is gin.
The gin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just a London Dry gin. I'm using Beefeater. I prefer that.
Okay.
It's good. It's good cocktailing gin, as far as I'm concerned. Campari is its own sort of spirit. It's a bitter orange liqueur.
Okay.
From Milan in Italy. I don't know. That's all I can say about it. You either love it or hate it.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah. It sounds fancy and looks fancy. I don't think it's that fancy.
Fancy casual.
They recently updated this bottle, though. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it looks nice. It almost looks like a clearer red wine or like a fruit punch.
Yeah, but It does look like
well, not like
punch.
fruit punch. Well,
It
you know,
kinda
like
looks
a clearer fruit punch. Yeah. So
It's more bitter.
more bitter. Is it dry?
No, it's pretty sweet actually.
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
See, yeah. Fruit punch is dry.
but it's kind of dry.
Yeah.
I don't like fruit punch.
I'm not a
really.
big fan of it either. And then the third thing you've got here.
So this is a sweet vermouth. Traditionally, this would be used with, it's called like a Torino style vermouth, which is just the sort of most classic style of Italian sweet vermouth. This is Carpano Antica, which is sort of a fancy vermouth. It's a sweet vermouth, but they add some other things like vanilla or something. I'm not sure exactly. So it's a little more bold and flavorful than a typical sweet vermouth. So I like to use that whenever I'm using Campari or something that's bitter or really bold.
Okay, so this drink, does this include all three of those, or do you get to choose?
All three.
Okay, because I know last time we
Yes.
chose. So
Last time was fun. I had never got to bring in a choice before.
yeah.
But yeah, this one is just equal parts of all three of these. So it's a super fun like template to use. And you have and there's just sort of the template for a lot of cocktails in that you have booze, bitter, and a sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same in an old fashioned, right? You have the bourbon, the sugar, and the bitters.
Mm-hmm.
A Manhattan, you have the rye whiskey or whatever. You have the vermouth as the sweetener, and then some bitters. So that's sort of the same build, different proportions.
Okay.
But conceptually, this is like, a very basic cocktail.
Okay.
Bitters, sweet, booze.
Would you say that this is kind of like, I don't even know. I mean, a cocktail. I mean, you can have cocktails really whatever, but would you say that, I mean, do you have usually like kind of a list of like what is considered like a weekday cocktail and what's a weekend cocktail?
I've never really thought about them like at like that sort of category, but depends like what I'm doing. So this I would think of as like a before dinner cocktail, kind of, or I mean before or after dinner cocktail.
Okay.
Or it's just I wouldn't want to be eating necessarily with it, but it's got some nice like digestive qualities with the Campari and the vermouth. So yeah. I'd really drink it any day of the week. I don't care if it's the weekend or the weekday. I like Negronis.
Okay. That was just kind of a question that popped in my head, and it's like, wait, where did that come from? Like what, a weekday or a weekend cocktail?
Yeah,
I don't
think
know.
People do that, and they'll base it on like how boozy the cocktail is, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I work at a bar, so they're all fair game as far as I'm concerned.
Well, there you go. So again, we've got here, what's it called? The Beef Eater?
Yeah, Beef Eater.
London.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
London dry gin.
All right.
I don't know why it's called Beef Eater. I think it has something to do with that soldier.
Okay. I don't know.
I looked into it once, but I've since forgotten.
Well, I'm learning, like always here. So, do you want to start off here too? Oh, those are nice glasses also. I always like to have those. Those are nice
Important to have nice glassware, at least for us.
Absolutely. There you go. So do you want to get started on, what do you want to do? You want to tell us the process first? Or, well, you can also do the
Yeah, I
process
could just
as
explain it and then go. This one's super easy. Like I said, it's going to be equal parts of each. So it's just an ounce gin, an ounce of Campari, and an ounce of sweet vermouth. And it's traditionally served on a rock. So put that in.
Okay.
Part of why I chose this, I haven't done a stirred drink here in a long time. So this is like a stirred drink. And woke up with the rain and everything, it's a little more brooding, and this is a little darker, sort of boozier sipper, more contemplative, I guess you could call it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get into it. I did bring the stirring vessel.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because I wanted to show it off, and it is a stirred cocktail. So if you have one at home and you want to break it out, here's your chance.
That's cool. Now, how do you use that? That's just to stir the different drinks together before you pour it?
Yeah, so instead of a shaker, you can stir it, and it just you sort of make the decision based on what ingredients are in there. So the shaker is obviously going to it's a lot more motion.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to like mix fruit juices better, or emulsify stuff, or if you have egg white, it foams it. But you have less control over like the dilution and temperature. this allows you, if you stir it, to have more control over sort of the dilution and temperature.
That makes sense too,
you just
because
can't stir every ingredient.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would be the sort of technique for all bartenders, probably be just stirring.
Would you say that the temperature, it gets like, well, yeah, I would think it gets a little bit more warmer if you shake it versus stirring it kind of keeps the temperature the same?
So when you shake it, it's just easier to over dilute it or get it too cold, right? To add like too much of the cold water, really.
Oh, that's right, because the cold water.
Yeah, so all the cocktails, right? I'm listing all the ingredients, but like the unnamed ingredient is always water. And if you add like these together and drink it, even if they're cold, it's not going to taste like the right cocktail. So you have to like shake or stir, like add ice in some way to every cocktail, as that dilution is sort of like an important part of the cocktail.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's take a spin at stirring this drink.
I brought this literally just to show it off, but it's such an
Cool.
easy drink. They're just build it in a rocks glass, throw the cube in and roll.
Nice.
Did you guys get to hear that pop?
I did get to hear the pop.
Nice.
So you're putting in there first. It's the
ounce of vermouth. And we'll do an ounce of Campari. Campari, I don't know how they make it red now, but they used to use like the dye was made from like some bug or something like that.
Oh,
that
wow.
made it red.
Huh.
It's probably just red 40 now.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's one of the weird history facts, I suppose, about it.
I know they use, what is it, bugs for gelatin or something. I've heard that before.
Shellac.
Shellac?
Yeah, shellac's like beetle.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very familiar. Well, I've heard of that. So, you know what? It already smells good. I can already smell it from
very fragrant drink. I got all over my fingers, which is lovely. Let me pick my ice tongs out here.
You know what? I have to say, this reminds me of the way I'm smelling it right now. I have family in Bermuda, and we used to go on to Bermuda trips a lot. It smells like one of the bars in the hotels that we used to always stay at.
Nice.
Exactly. It's got like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just got that smell to it. It's like.
Do they sell a lot of Campari at that bar?
They must, because that's what that's what I'm smelling right now as I'm sitting in the seat here. It reminds me of the Hamilton Princess Hotel Bar on the first floor.
Free plug.
There you go. Yep.
There we go.
If you ever go to Bermuda, folks, that's the hotel to go to. Hamilton Princess, my absolute favorite. Although they did recently change it, and I don't know.
How far is a flight or how long is a flight to Bermuda from here?
So it kind of depends. The thing is you have to. Well, it depends on where you live. Usually, what we would do is we'd fly to New York, and then we would fly. Okay.
Took out my spoon.
Look at that. That is really cool. It's got a nice skull on the end. We usually fly to New York and then fly to Bermuda. So it was like, 2 hours and then 3 or 4.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it was a double flight. So it was definitely an experience. But I always liked airports growing up as a kid.
I'll move these out of the way so people can see what I'm doing.
So now when you're mixing it, oh yeah, you already put the ice cubes in there.
Yeah, so I plopped the cubes in. It was just, like I said, an ounce of each. Stirred up. Maybe a little more.
Now, would you say that the big ice cubes is the way to go in a drinks like this?
I mean, most of them. I mean, what did we make last week? Oh, we did I just used well cubes for that. So it really depends the application. But the big cubes are going to keep it cold without diluting it as much. Because there's less surface area, but there's still a big cold object in there.
That's nice.
And then the garnish on this, which I forgot to mention, is just an orange peel. Super simple. Spritz it on there, and you're good to go.
Look at that.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Now I'm going to have to try it. Oh, yeah. This is interesting. So it's got a nice color to it. I'm getting into the nitty-gritty details on how it looks. All right. I'm going to give it a try. Let's see how it is. Ooh, that is strong. I have to say, I liked it. You can tell I just don't drink that much at all.
That's okay.
But that's entertainment for you. People are getting entertained by this, so there you go. And so the drink last time, this is definitely a heavy drink. Like, it feels heavy to me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of flavor. I mean, we did use 3 boozes. Really, all of these have alcohol content as well. But they're all sort of very strong flavors independently.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely very stronger. It's stronger than the last drink that we had.
Yeah, we did the mules last week.
Mules.
Yeah.
That I drank from the straw, which people ended up later telling me, yeah, if you drink it through the straw, you're going to get more tipsy. Is that true?
It's the same amount of booze in there either. Maybe if you drink it faster, that'd be the only way.
Okay. It could maybe if you don't mix it. Well, wait, it's just booze.
Yeah,
Well,
but if I made it right, it should have been mixed anyway.
Yeah, it was
too.
mixed. It might have just been me.
So do you like it?
I think it's all right. I mean, it's not that bad.
You're allowed to say no. This is like.
No,
I
don't
earlier.
dislike it. I don't dislike it. It's very strong.
Yeah. Campari is very divisive.
But
well.
it's got like, I don't even know how to explain it. You know, like when you like eat spicy food and it's like, I'm trying to get really technical with this.
Go for it.
It reminds me of like spicy food, but without the spice, but the strength is there.
Oh, just sort of the level of flavor.
Yeah, it's the level of flavor. It almost makes like my mouth feel a little bit warm.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense though, because all of these have are spiced, I guess, to put it simply, right? Because gin is basically like vodka that they add botanicals to.
Okay.
Vermouth is wine that they add botanicals and like a neutral grain spirit to. So
I taste the wine.
They make like a tincture, but it's really wine with stuff added to it. And the Campari is the same thing, where it's a neutral grain spirit, I think, and then all of the Campari herbs and bittering elements added into it.
The interesting thing is like when I first take a sip, there's like a slight second of like, it's like real light and sweet, and then it just kind of like
gets bitter.
Forms.
Yeah.
The bitterness forms and like the flavor forms.
It definitely sort of hits all of the senses on your palate, right?
Yep.
Which is a part of why it's been such a popular cocktail probably for so long.
This is a nice place. I mean, this cocktail is really nice to have at a place like the Distance Social, where you offer comfortable seating and a great atmosphere as well. So, folks, if you want to check it out, the Distance Social at 314 North River Street in East Dundee. Now, do you usually is this one of your favorites in terms of drinks? They like to have, I mean, I know that there's a lot of drinks out there, but
yeah, I usually probably do like a Negroni or a Manhattan situation if I am going to get a cocktail. And they're just solid cocktails. They're hard to do wrong, so I feel comfortable ordering them in a lot of places, but sort of as a bartender or whatever, they're very, like I was saying earlier, awesome templates to play with. So, right, I have 3 ingredients on this, equal parts, and I know I got like a bitter, a sweet, and a booze, so I can like swap any of those out,
right,
and then see what comes out.
You know what I think this drink would go good with? It is, it does work as like kind of like a dessert drink in a way. Dessert drinks I know are usually sweet, right? I mean, kind of just, everyone's different.
But I think the heavy flavor, just that sort of intense, it's a palate cleanser really.
Yeah.
I think is sort of what you were saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a palate cleanser. It's interestingly enough, the more I'm drinking it, the more I'm liking it.
That tends to happen, folks.
So, yeah, well.
No,
That's how it was
It's a really good drink. And I just, I wasn't sure whether you'd like it because, like I said, Campari is very divisive. People are okay with it or they hate it. So.
Well, I have a story to tell, and I'll tell you in just a bit. We're going to take a quick time out, and we will be back with more Drink of the Day here in just a bit. Stay tuned.
Theriault Booth, a leading local law firm, is located on the beautiful Fox River in downtown St. Charles. Here's Ryan Theriault.
For better or worse, there are just times people need a lawyer. Whether you are involved in a work injury, in an automobile crash, selling a home, or even planning for your estate after your passing, we're here. We're local. We're part of the community.
For more information, visit them on the web at tbfirm.com or give them a call at 630-526-4242.
Located in the heart of Wisconsin Dells on beautiful Lake Delton, the Delton Oaks Resort offers a classic Wisconsin family vacation. It's an on-the-lake experience with available cabins, villas, and studio condos, all with home-style comforts and amenities, and extra space for family gatherings, reunions, and small groups. With a private sandy beach and dock, you can splash around, swim, and boat to your heart's content. There's a pontoon boat, kayak rentals, fire pit and barbecue grills are available for use for registered guests. Book your stay and enjoy all the ultimate Dells experience, with bonus passes to Noah's Ark Water Park. From s'mores to oars, Delton Oaks Resort has something for everyone. Visit DeltonOaksResort.com. That's DeltonOaksResort.com.
It's the time of the year where storms and inclement weather can pop up unexpectedly. If you have a generator powered by a small engine, keep it running like a top. Don't do the tune-up yourself. Let Ames Small Engine Repair at 674 Laurel Street in Elgin handle your generator. Ames can do oil changes, spark plugs, and make all the necessary adjustments. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, Ames Small Engine can do it all. Don't forget, it's not too early to think about a lawnmower tune-up. Call 847-742-8750.
Beef Villa's 3 locations offer much more than their signature Italian beef. Try the Italian sausage, roasted chicken, and more. There's a big variety of delicious side dishes. Beef Villa uses quality ingredients from homemade recipes, and they purchase top-of-the-quality food products from their vendors to bring you the absolute best tasting of foods. Beef Villa's great service and quality are waiting for you, but you won't be waiting long because it's always hot and fresh. Visit beefvilla.com. Oh no, I just hit that post and my car's got a dent.
Uh-oh, better get Maaco.
Oh yeah? Where are they?
Maaco is America's body shop. They're the world's largest provider of paint and collision services. They're located at 212 Western Avenue in Carpentersville, across from Spring Hill Mall. I've used them. Check out my car.
Wow, looking good.
Everything was so easy and affordable. Hummer and staff were super friendly and really knew their stuff.
I'm going to call them now.
Mention WRMN 1410 at the Carpentersville Maaco and receive 10% off today.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-890-5957. 800-890-5957. That's 800-890-5957.
A recent Gallup poll indicated.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a 2-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The 2-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Borden Public Library on both days. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's Carbon Fiber Mountain Bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service. The city of Elgin is celebrating Mexican Independence Day with a two-day La Fiesta de Elgin, September 13th and 14th. The two-day event features mariachi performances, a vendor market, and a car meet. Cultural programs will also take place at the Gail Borden Public Library on both days. Illinois has officially designated the giant puffball mushroom, Calvadia gigantea, as the new state symbol, thanks to the efforts of Prairie School of DuPage students in Wheaton. Their educational campaign led to the drafting and passage of Senate Bill 3514. In Geneva, mosquitoes have tested positive for West Nile virus, prompting city officials to schedule widespread spraying operations through today. This move aligns Geneva with neighboring areas in a collective effort to curb the adult mosquito population. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
All right, welcome back, folks. I took an extra long break. Clearly, it's a strong. I turned your mic off here. It's a strong. See, it's a strong drink. I am going to need to maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe eat some food before I leave.
Yeah, I'm charged with making sure you get home now. So.
I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think I'll be fine. I got some stuff to do, so I think we're good.
Yeah, don't worry, folks. We're being safe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're drinking responsibly.
Yep. It's just, with me, I don't know. It's like, it kicks in after 2 sips.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just does. So now everyone's going to be like, oh, Matt's drunk on air. No, I'm not drunk on air. I'm just, a little bit. I don't know.
We're just drinking.
I'm just celebratory. I don't know. So, okay. So this drink, I'm liking it the more I'm drinking it. Tell us some other fun drinks that you have that you like.
That I like personally,
Yeah.
or so we started working on the fall menu, which is going to be fun.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And we actually, me and my bartender Tom we used this template to make a drink with entirely different ingredients that we really liked.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to try it again when we get back and make sure it's still as good as you remember.
Okay.
But it uses this weird Mexican spirit called Sotol. It uses this weird, Italian bitter thing that's made. It's called Cardamaro. It's made with cardoon, which is, I don't know, a plant. And then what was and then Sailors, which is a gentian like aperitif liqueur, which is just super light and refreshing, but like has this really nice like earthy quality.
Okay.
Nice. So they're all super weird ingredients, but they play very nicely together.
Very nice. That sounds good.
Our other bartender, my newest bartender actually, Darwin, what day was I there? He showed me on Monday, he did like this curry infused gin, and then he made like a sour with it using like a chai syrup.
Okay.
It was really good.
Chai syrup.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's interesting. I've had chai before. I've never had chai syrup. Is that just the syrup that...
Honestly, I don't know what his recipe was. Probably if he got like sweetened chai concentrate, it would be like the same thing.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
So I think I'm trying to remember what he did. He told me, I think he might have got the dried chai, like whatever the spice mix, and then made the syrup with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
It was really good though.
It was good.
Yeah. Nice. So sometime next month, we haven't settled on a date yet, but we'll have the fall menu out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you try different combinations during the fall? I mean, during the season, is there like a particular kind that you usually always have, and then you add different ones, or you make up your own?
As far as cocktails, yeah. So we have like our classics list, which are just like the top selling, and they're easy for us to make, and they're good. Like classic cocktails, like a daiquiri, a New York sour, and then some of our seasonal cocktails that are super popular get sort of thrown up there seasonally. But the seasonal menu itself is pretty much new every time, and it's a combination of drinks we come up with or just recipes we found that we like.
Okay.
But yeah, we try a bunch of different stuff and curate it out of that. But we always try to have like sort of like a Negroni variation, a Manhattan or an old-fashioned sort of situation, and like some sort of margarita or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite pairings when it comes to drinks? Like, say you're like out for dessert, like you have like I don't know, like cheesecake or something, and then like what do you usually like to pair it with?
The best pairing that comes to mind, it's gonna sound, I don't know, either pretentious or silly, but was oysters and champagne, and it is really sort of dependent on having oysters that are they don't always pair together, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
As well as they can.
Okay.
But I just randomly ordered, I don't know, a glass or a bottle where I was, and got the oysters and had them together just without even thinking, and that was awesome. And I was like, hey, no wonder this is like a thing.
Interesting. I think I never tried this before, but I always wondered, like, have you had like birthday cake vodka? Like those tight, like birthday cake. How is that?
I can't say I don't remember ever trying those. I never was interested in like flavored vodkas and stuff like that.
You don't remember, or you?
I don't think that I've ever tasted them.
You've never tasted it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did try like a tamarind, is it a Smirnoff that they have, like a spicy tamarind or something, one that's actually pretty good.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of other weird flavored stuff that I liked. I would never usually do birthday cake, or I don't know, all those super sweet ones never interested me. Did you ever try the birthday cake vodka?
I never have.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking up online here, weird flavored alcohol drinks, and seeing what comes up. What do we have here? Tito's handmade vodka. Why is that under the weird flavor?
Yeah, that sounds like the normalist flavor.
The vodka. I don't know what. I just said weird. I looked up weird flavors. Unique flavors.
So
flavors.
I've got to sample the caviar vodka. That was cool. And a truffle vodka.
Caviar?
That was cool. Yeah. Those are both cool.
They're good?
Yeah.
Do you like caviar?
I mean, I can't say I've ever just had caviar.
I don't like it.
I mean, I like having like the salmon roe or whatever on like a sushi or whenever it's served. I'm game.
See, I don't like caviar.
I've never just had a can of caviar.
I'm like almost 100% Russian, and I'm so not Russian. I don't like caviar. I can't take a drink. You know, I don't know, but
you're trying.
I'm trying.
Yeah,
I am trying.
You're trying.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, here we go. Threshers.com says 22 bizarre alcohol combinations.
We have a toasted marshmallow bourbon that's pretty dang good.
That does sound good.
Yeah, there's also a blackberry one we have that's very good.
Cider and champagne.
That sounds good.
There's one that drink. Coca-Cola and Lager. Okay, now I do like mixing, like having like a white. I'm not a big white wine fan, but like mixing white wine with like ginger ale.
Never
I kind
heard
of
of
like.
it.
I kind of. It's just it's my own creation.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I like that, and then I've talked about here before too. My favorite is like Are you more like? Do you drink wine ever usually? Or
yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I'm more of a wine person. Yeah. The interesting thing with wine is like, it does it like I can take wine more.
Yeah.
It's like a couple sips and hello. But
it's
like
more concentrated for sure.
Yeah. So definitely though, like the cheap wine, the red wine, it's called Menage a Trois. It's like a California red blend. That's my favorite.
Easy to find.
It's very easy to find. You can find it anywhere. And that's my favorite. So there's some other lists here too. Red wine and Coca-Cola.
That's actually, I've had that. It sounds terrible, but it's actually pretty good.
Is that right? So red wine and Coca-Cola.
A cool one is do you know an Aperol Spritz? Are you familiar?
I've heard of them, yes.
So Aperol is a sort of similar to Campari, not quite as bitter, and it's more grapefruit leaning than orange leaning.
Okay.
And the Spritz is that with Prosecco and soda, but if you just put the Aperol in High Life, excellent Spritz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a good one too. That is very popular actually.
So that red wine
and Coke is good.
I'm going to have to try that out because that actually does sound pretty good.
Yeah.
There's also other ones here. Cinnamon. Is it pronounced liqueur? Liqueur? Liqueur.
I mean,
is that liqueur?
I say liqueur.
Liqueur?
Yeah.
I would say liqueur.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's French.
It's French.
Yeah.
Oui. So that is cinnamon liqueur, and cider is another one that's listed on here too. Bailey's and hot chocolate.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a weird combination to me though.
No, it doesn't either.
It sounds pretty normal.
Red wine and Sprite. See, this is again similar to the white wine and ginger ale, kind of, I guess.
I think that sounds better.
The white wine and ginger ale.
Yeah.
I've tried
red wine and Coke is the move.
I've tried red wine with ginger ale. I don't care for it. But the white wine I do. So yeah, again, some of these actually don't sound that very weird at all. Fireball whiskey and ice cream is another one.
Yeah. I mean, why not? I don't know why you need it more sweet, but sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun, like 50-50 shots that, I don't know, kind of nerdy bartender stuff, but those are fun.
That does sound fun. And again, like there's so much that you can search up on here too. What unusual liquors that make really great cocktails. And you can always just kind of mix and match your own thing too. Now, I also wanted to talk about here too that the Distance Social is having coming up. Actually, it's
today.
Today for Brandon Reisdorf.
Yeah, I had Brandon Reisdorf. That's right.
Yeah.
7 to. Let me double check. He starts at 7.
7 to 10.
7 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's live music.
Yeah.
So are you familiar with him?
Yeah, he. I'm trying to think of when we first met, but he's sort of been a regular at the bar, and then I think he knows Christian Sanchez, who does a lot of music for us, and he kind of put us in touch. But I went to high school with his sister as well.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know him at the time, but I'm familiar with sort of, I don't know, some of the family.
Okay, and it looks like does he play the violin?
So I think he plays violin and guitar.
That's cool.
Yeah, so he's a multi-instrumentalist.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Again, folks, if you want to go on out, 314 North River Street, downtown East Dundee. This is thedistancesocial.com, and they're open now until 11 p.m. Now, have you ever had extended hours for people, like private parties? Or you'll stay open if they are like rent a space?
So I wouldn't be opposed to it. We've never really had to, because usually when we get the private party rentals, they're on a Friday or a Saturday.
Okay.
And then we pretty much stay open till our liquor license allows, so there's not really any negotiating at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But on a weekday, like we close at 11, I wouldn't schedule something like a private reservation with the intention of going late, but if they came and like they were still buying stuff and it was worth it for us, I would have no problem doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you usually, would you say you get a lot of people wanting to do like private events, especially if it's like during the summer season?
Yeah, so we get it's a pretty steady schedule, I would say. It isn't like every day or even every week, that sort of thing, but, 1 or 2 a month probably at least.
Okay, very cool. So again, if you want to go to the website, thedistancesocial.com is the website to go to. Again, that's thedistancesocial.com. Very nice. So what we're going to do here is, it's already 5:47, so we're going to take another quick time out here, and then we'll be back with more of, I almost said with the Distance Social. Duh. That's you. We'll be back, folks, in just a little bit, so stay tuned.
America's First Responders Fest, Saturday, September 7th at Panton Mill Park, South Elgin, Illinois. Join us Saturday, September 7th for America's First Responders Fest. The South Elgin event will pay tribute to veterans and all first responders. This year's event includes Rapid Response 5K and Fun Run starting at 10 a.m. The festival hours are 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll have first responder stage tributes. There will be a classic car show from JP Car Shows. Live bands featuring Deacon Frost, Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, Jimmy Nick, and the Junkyard Groove. We'll broadcast live right here on WRMN 1410 and at WRMN Radio on YouTube. There will be food and beverage trucks, kids' activities, and market-style vendor booths. For more information and updates leading up to the event, please visit afrfest.org. Again, that's Saturday, September 7th. For more information, visit afrfest.org. That's America's First Responders Fest, Saturday, September 7th at Panton Mill Park, South Elgin, Illinois.
Political party poopers got you down? Shake it off and join me, Dennis Sonar Green, every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for A Political Talk Show, where we cut through the doom and gloom with a focus on America first, constitutional values, and a populist perspective that puts you, the citizen, at the center of the conversation. At WRMN, the talk of the town, we're not afraid to challenge the status quo and bring you the straight talk you need. Whether you're frustrated with the political establishment or looking for a clear, some nonsense analysis, this show has you covered. Tune in. Let's take on the issues together with a fresh, unfiltered approach. Catch us every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN, A Political Talk Show. WRMN, the talk of the town.
Come on out to the Country Donuts, that is, at Route 20 and Nestler Road. They're always open. Donuts are made daily using only the finest ingredients to ensure freshness. Their huge variety of donuts offers something to please everyone. Country Donuts doesn't stop at offering you the best donuts. Enjoy a delicious breakfast sandwich or stop in for lunch and try a bowl of their famous chili. Need a larger or special donut order for your office? Call 847-488-1900.
The Distance Social, your spot for great craft cocktails with meaningful conversation. Whether you're out entertaining a group or out for a memorable nightcap, the Distance Social is your spot for starting or ending the perfect evening. Located at 314 North River Street in beautiful East Dundee, Illinois. Go the distance and find your social at the Distance Social.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
We are back, folks. Welcome to Drink of the Day. We still have a little bit of time left here. We'll be still chatting away. Hopefully you're enjoying the day so far. It's getting close to the 6 o'clock hour. So maybe you're going to go out for a nice drink for the day.
There you go.
Or get some good food, or pair the both.
Yeah, and then come check out some live music.
There you go.
Starting in an hour-ish.
At 7 o'clock. Now tell people too, people can get food there at the Distance Social, but it's like little finger snack foods.
Yes, so we don't have a kitchen, but we do have like some snackies, pretzels, chips. We got a bourbon cherry oatmeal cookie that are baked fresh for us by Alger and Oat in West Dundee. We get
nice.
ranch dip from Blue Root in West Dundee.
Ranch dip?
Yeah.
What do you dip?
So the pretzels and the chips.
The pretzels and the chips.
Yeah, either one of those goes really well in there. Snack mix, chocolate bar, just some random stuff. But we're bring your own food bar. So, you're welcome to bring a picnic or order pizza in or get some takeout and bring it there, whatever you'd like.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. So yeah, anyone out there, like order a pizza and then get some drinks.
Yeah, and there's plenty of restaurants right around there too. So just driving into town and getting some takeout and popping in to have a drink is relatively easy in East Dundee.
There you go. Have you been to the Diamond Gyms?
Yeah.
They have good burgers. What do you like getting there?
So I haven't been there in a while, and I think they just changed owners or something like that.
Very recently.
So I haven't, been there since. So I don't know if I have a favorite, because every time they change, their menu changes, and then I have to pick something new.
Okay.
They have like those loaded fries, though. They still have those. Those are always super good.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if they have the loaded fries.
They used to do, their Reubens were always pretty dang good as well.
That does sound good. You like, well, I don't know if I've ever asked you.
I might be referencing old menus, though.
Old menus?
I'm saying I don't even know.
Well, I'm going to have to double check and see. What's your favorite food to get? I don't know if I've asked you that. Yes, he says new menu coming soon.
Yeah.
So.
Favorite food, like if I had my choice of anything?
Yeah, just of anything.
Oh, wow. I don't know. Never thought about it. Probably some sort of sandwich.
Some type of sandwich?
Yeah. Is that too broad?
That's all right. I get the picture.
Yeah.
A nice handheld sandwich to enjoy.
Like a good sandwich.
Yeah. I'm a burger person. I also like wraps. To be honest, I haven't had wraps in a while, but burgers I also like too.
I think I'm kind of including burgers in that category, but I would like to leave like a cold deli meat sandwich also available on the table for this answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like, have you ever been to Blue Box?
No, I haven't.
Such good BLT sandwiches.
Yeah.
Very good.
I've been meaning to go there. I heard about it just doing the show with Leah, actually, but haven't found the time yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a cool place, and you can get coffee too. You big do you drink coffee?
No caffeine really.
No caffeine.
Believe it or not.
See, now I'm a big coffee drinker. Coffee all day, every day.
I really like coffee, and I used to nerd out in drinking it, but like caffeine just like bothers me throughout the day, so it's easier for me to not.
See, for me, like. It's almost, I think it's at a point, I drink so much coffee, it's at a point where it's almost like a placebo effect, where it's like, it doesn't really technically wake me up, but like if I think about like having the cup of coffee,
smell it
or smell it, it like
Yeah.
helps me to like wake up.
I used to love my ritual of, I had an espresso machine. I used to wake up super early for work at my previous career. But just the ritual of making the espresso and like smelling it and then being on my way was always excellent.
Always good, yeah. I like to pair like having coffee with like, I don't know, I don't eat a lot of sweets, but like sometimes like having a little pastry or something to go with it too is
lovely.
always nice. Always nice as well. It's good when you're able, pardon me, to go to like a little cafe area or a place where you can just sit down and pardon me, enjoy some good food and drinks, like with a Distance Social, of course.
Actually.
So there you go. Now we got about like a minute left. So any recommendations that you have for anyone? Like what's something like that you're just like, gosh, people need to try this out. What do you recommend for me as someone who doesn't drink much at all? What do you recommend for me?
Like cocktail wise?
Just a wide range. I mean, well, yeah, actually, let's do cocktails.
Well, you're a wine guy.
Yeah.
So vermouth and soda is one of my sort of favorite go-tos, and it's super light and refreshing. And it doesn't necessarily need to be this one, but there's so many sort of varieties and sort of different liquors in that category. But literally just like pour some in a glass, top it with soda water and ice, and send it.
I'm going to try, I want to actually, if you don't mind, I want to try a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, you know, we like after the show.
Yeah, we'll find a glass and everything. But yeah,
I want to try that because I do like wine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's kind of winey, but if you want just a low ABV, something that you can sip on every day, like that's super, super simple and delicious.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to try out later. Since we're closing out the show now. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, I'm glad we made it work today.
Absolutely. And yes, we're going to continue to make this work. The Distance Social. This is Joey from the Distance Social here joining us live here in studio. Yes, we are definitely going to be having him back on the airwaves for Drink of the Day. Very excited about that. And I know you are as well.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us, folks. This does wrap it up here for Drink of the Day. Hopefully everyone had a good day so far. Getting close to going home, ready to wind down, relax a bit. Check out the Distance Social. Feel free to in beautiful East Dundee, located at 314 North River Street, downtown East Dundee. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your night. Take care, everyone.